ಎಲ್ಲ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಹೊರೈ. ಇದ್ರ ಒಳಗಡೆ ತಾಂಬೂಲ ಇಡ್ತಾರೆ ಪೂಜೆ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ, ವೆಲ್ಕಮ್ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್, ಹೊರೈ. ಇಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಈ ಥರ ಇಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲೆ ಅಡಿಕೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇದನ್ನ ದೇವರ ಮುಂದೆ ಇಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಇಶಿಯಸ್ ಇನ್ ನಾರ್ತ್ ಈಸ್ಟ್.
Namaste all. We'll begin today's session with 3 rounds of Omkara and a prayer. I request you all to be kindly seated, hands in Namaskara Mudra. सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Namaste everyone. Welcome you all to this beautiful event, the Northeast Calling Program. Today's event is sponsored completely by Engineers India Limited, and it is a premium engineering company and a mega project management central public sector Schedule A company under the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas. Thank you so much. We are privileged to have your support on this occasion. Swami Vivekananda said, "The light that shines above is the same light which shines within the human heart." As we commence this event with lighting the lamp, we invoke the presence of the divine from above and awaken our inner light too. I request our dignitaries, Chief Guest Shri Ashish Kumar Chauhan ji, Guest of Honor Dr. R. Balasubramaniam ji, Manya Nivedita Didi, and Adarniya Murlidhar ji to please come forward to light the lamp. Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritangamaya. Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritangamaya. Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Indian tradition celebrates dance not as merely as an art form but as a worship to the divine. We will now have a performance by the Karyakartas and students of Vivekananda Kendra Vidyalaya based on a song sung by Dr. Bhupen Hazarika. This song expresses the feeling of the separation of all the seven sisters. Though they got their own identity for different reasons, for different causes, but when they stay together, there be no enemies that they cannot fight. Though they are separated physically, emotionally, they continue to stay connected. I now invite the students of Vivekananda Kendra Vidyalaya and our dear Karyakartas for the dance performance.
লুইতর বালিতে উমলি আসিল রোদ কাসলিত বহি আয়ো আয় মেঘে মেঘে সাবুতিলে হাসির সপোন বোৰ সৰাতিতে ভাঙি উঠে ঐক্যবদ্ধতাৰ সুৰ যিদিনা হলো নিজে থিয় দিব পৰা মেঘালয় নাম মোৰ সিদিনাৰ পৰা আয়ো অৰুণে ভুমুকি মাৰিলে অৰুণাই পাতিলে আচলাই অৰুণাই পাতিলে আচল অৰুণাচল বুলি নিজক চিনাকি দি তায়ো বেলেগ হৈ গ'ল তায়ো বেলেগ হৈ গ'ল মিজোৰাখলত ৰান্ধনি বিচাৰি কন্যাক বিচাৰিলে দান কন্যাক বিচাৰিলে দান ঢোলে ডগৰে অসমীৰ পদূলিত জোঁৱাই দেখোন মিজোৰাম জোঁৱাই দেখোন মিজোৰাম আয়ো আহোম স্বৰ্গদেৱে পাতি গণিছিল হেন হঠাৎ সভ্যতাৰ জাগৰণ উঠি জন্ম হ'ল নগালেণ্ড হঠাৎ সভ্যতাৰ জাগৰণ উঠি জন্ম হ'ল নগালেণ্ড চিত্ৰাংগদাই বোলে কুৰি কোটি কাঠ কৰে ৰাজকীয় ক্ষমতাৰ কৃষ্টি ৰক্ষাৰ চেলু বিচাৰি সৃষ্টি হ'ল মণিপুৰ কৃষ্টি ৰক্ষাৰ চেলু বিচাৰি সৃষ্টি হ'ল মণিপুৰ মই বংগৰ সীমাত ঘৰ সাজিছো বতৰুৰ চামৰে মই বংগৰ সীমাত ঘৰ সাজিছো বতৰুৰ চামৰে ত্ৰিপুৰা নামেৰে ৰাইজে জানিব ত্ৰিপুৰা নামেৰে ৰাইজে জানিব পাহৰি নেযাবি মোক পাহৰি নেযাবি মোক অসমীয়া আইৰ সাতোজনী যি মেঘালয় অৰুণাচল মিজোৰাম নাগালেণ্ড মণিপুৰ ত্ৰিপুৰা অসম আজি আনুভূতিক সমন্বয়েৰে সংযুক্ত পুনৰ কাৰ্বি আংলং বড়ো ৰাভা মিচিং মিলিলে অসমক জিনোতা নাই এই মহামিলনৰ প্ৰতিজ্ঞা ভঙাৰ বতৰুৰ কলিজা নাই মিলনৰ গীত গাই গাই 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 মিলনৰ গীত গাই গাই
That was a wonderful performance, setting the stage, setting the atmosphere for the event very, very aptly. Moving forward, I request Prasadji, Prant Pramukh, to proceed with the Kendra Parichaya and also welcome our guests.
Namaste, Suprabhadam. A warm welcome to all of you, all the dignitaries and our guests, invitees, well-wishers and Kendra Karyakartas of Vivekananda Kendra on this auspicious occasion. Vivekananda Kendra is a spiritually oriented service mission started by Mananiya Eknath Ranedeji after the construction of Vivekananda Rock Memorial at Kanyakumari. It started in 1970. Eknathji's great vision, supported by many great personalities, Puja Guruji, as well as the president of Ramakrishna Mission, the Shankaracharya, and even all the whole country, we can say, all the MPs signed and given the petition. And a wonderful monument has come into existence. And Eknathji had a great vision. Whatever Swami Vivekananda's ideas are there, that is to be put it into practice. And to the public or the society, the humanity should put it into practice and to know more about that. Inspiration should come. With that intention, Manya Eknath Ranedeji, he started the Vivekananda Kendra, a spiritually oriented service mission headquartered at Kanyakumari. After the rock memorial construction, same method, same ideology of Swamiji with the men making and nation building, with serve men and serve a God, with that thought process. And to make our Bharat Jagat Guru with that great intention, to make our nation vibrant with that intention, Manya Eknathji has started. We all know that Swami Vivekananda's greatest thought, they alone live who live for others. The rest are more dead than alive. With that great intention and to make our Bharat great, the Shiva Bhave, Jiva Bhava, that seeing that, feeling that poor and downtrodden, we know Matru Devo Bhava, Pitru Devo Bhava, Acharya Devo Bhava. Swamiji added the Daridra Devo Bhava and Murkha Devo Bhava. With that intention, Swami Vivekananda built up this organization, an ordinary organization with extraordinary the workers, Karyakartas, working throughout India with that intention. Eknathji has envisioned this organization. And there is a cadre-based organization. This Vivekananda Kendra is a cadre-based organization where Jeevan Vriti Karyakartas are working as the backbone of the organization. Apart from that, of course, there are many Sthaniya Karyakartas also. You know, our Manya Nivedya Dedi, she belongs to the beginning batch, 74 batch, 73, the Vivekananda Kendras, the life workers, those who dedicate their life fully. They are sannyasis without saffron cloth, we can say. Completely they dedicate. Even our one of the first batch, Ramacharji, he also came here. So they are the backbone of the organization. Apart from that, all the Sthaniya Karyakartas or those who are working in different fields, they will also work for the Vivekananda Kendra to make this nation great. And Vivekananda Kendra, when we started Vivekananda Kendra in 1972, that time onwards, in different fields, rural development, health, education, in cultural heritage and yoga, and the different type of personality development, women's awareness, that way different through activities Vivekananda Kendra is working in all the different part of our India. And the different camps, as I told, Vyaktitva Vikasa, the personality development camp, like that there are many other camps also. Yuva Prerna Shibir, Adhyatmik Shibir, even Kanyakumari, and wherever our Kendra branch centers are there, the training programs are there for the Jivanvriti as well as the Sthaniya Karyakartas, different level of training programs, and the women's awareness program. The camps are conducted in Vivekananda Kendra. And apart from that, so different Ulsavas are celebrated. Vivekananda Kendras, the 5 major Ulsavas are there. That is Guru Purnima, Universal Brotherhood, Swami Vivekananda's birth, and the Kalpataru Day we celebrate as the Samartha Bharata Parva. And Swami Vivekananda gave the epoch-making speech at the America, that is Universal Brotherhood Day, and Sadhana Divas, the founders' Janma Divas, that also we celebrate. The Bhagavad Gita Jayanti. These are one of the main activity wherever branch centers are there. The Ulsavas will be celebrated, and the Kari Paddhati, when we take, the Kari Paddhati is one of the main core, apart from the Ulsavas, where wherever branch centers are there, Yoga Varga, where regular yoga classes, Yoga Satra, Yoga Varga, regular classes, as well as for short period of time, Kendra will be organizing, and study circle as Swadhyaya Varga, reading the book and trying to understand Sravanam Mananam, that Nididhyasanam will happen, and for the children, the Samskara Varga, giving the value-based education, extracurricular activities as, bhajan, songs and our kirtanas, everything, even games, yoga, everything including the Samskara Varga for the children, nurture the children, watering the root, that is what happens in the Samskara Varga. And all together for all the Karyakartas and well-wishers, we conduct the Kendra Varga, that is for weekly once or, daily also some places it happens. So come together, think together, work together for the nation building activities. With that intention, this is what happens. And propagating the Bharatiya Samskriti, there are many institutions. Vivekananda Kendra is having around 42 different prakalpa. Prakalpa means where different, thought-based project where Vivekananda Kendra's Vedic Vision Foundation in Kerala, Kodungalur, and Vivekananda Kendra, Vivekananda International is there for international dialogues at New Delhi. ICAM is there, ICAM at Bhubaneswar, where yoga research and all is going on, and rural development activities are going on there. And YM is there in Solapur, where yoga, Vedantic researches are going on. So like that, so a research wing to propagate and understand our culture, research, that is what happens. And of course, from 72 onwards, Vivekananda Kendra is more focus is in the northeast. So that is one of the reason where Vivekananda Kendra is organizing this program, where Vivekananda Kendra has more activities focus on Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, Andaman, apart from other branch centers. So where Vivekananda Kendra presently running around 83 schools are there, Vivekananda Kendra Vidyalayas. And out of that, around 43 are in Arunachal Pradesh, 25 are there in Assam, 11 are there in Andaman Nicobar, 2 are there in Tamil Nadu, 1 Karnataka also, in Jugini, Vivekananda Kendra Vidyalaya is there. So these all schools, many of the schools are residential school. These all schools gives a wonderful, value-based education to the children. Many are CBSE schools and all. And there are Anandalayas are there, around 600 Anandalayas are there. And B.Ed college is there, and a nursing college is there. Apart from that, there are medical activities where doctors are there, medical camps are there. From Karnataka also, one doctor goes to Arunachal Pradesh every year. Last 25 years, one Dr. Pradeep, who goes to Arunachal Pradesh and conduct ENT camps in the rural tribal areas, Vanavasi areas, Janajati areas. They conduct camps. And that is one of the main activity, the focus point in Northeast. As well as that, Vivekananda Kendra is having the Sahitya Seva, the publication in different languages, 70 languages. Vivekananda Kendra is having the publication, different books on Indian culture and education, Swami Vivekananda's ideology. Our spiritual books are being published, magazines are published. We request you, those who are not subscribed or magazines and all, their QR codes are there outside. Please subscribe or English or Hindi or many of the languages. Even in Karnataka also we have a Vivek Sinchana bi-monthly bilingual online. This e-magazine is also there. So apart from that, our reach is there in different, all the state, and around 7,000 Daitwa and Karyakartas are working throughout with active support of the more than 2 lakhs patrons, and in different state with different activities are taking place in more than 243 districts where the Kendra is reaching. Then we will come to the Karnataka, how Vivekananda Kendra is active in Karnataka, where Vivekananda Kendra, as I told you, Vivekananda Kendra Vidyalaya is there in the Jugini, where around 20 in and around the villages, they are taking care of the schools, the village, the children are being, rural children are being given the training, and branch center is there in the Mysore, and there is branch center in RT Nagar, Hebbal, JP Nagar, Marthahalli, and in different places Vivekananda Kendra's activities are happening in Karnataka, and Anandalayas are happening. Anandalaya, where the rural children, the government school children are being given the training, where 32 Anandalayas are happening there in Karnataka. There is a Kendra publication. It is going on, where Kannada Prakashan is happening. Different books in Kannada is published from Mysore. There is another aspect is our Vivek Sinchana, the school which I told you already, that the educational institution as such, Vivekananda Kendra Vidyalaya, other branch centers where different, now this year we have Vivekananda Kendra has taken up Swadhyaya competitions where the college children, the degree students, mostly we have conducted a Swadhyaya examination by giving a Swami Vivekananda's book, and they have written and they have been taken to Kanyakumari also. Last month around 150 children attended a Shibir, personality development Shibir, leader development Shibir at Kanyakumari, and that is the core where, the flagship program we can say for Karnataka for the next couple of years, Vivekananda Kendra has taken up, and this magazine also, you all are, once you part of it, and then when you have given the email ID and all, we will send the magazine. And Vivekananda Kendra is reachable through the e-platform where IT, the social media, where Facebook or the website, the Google, or different ways we can be, the part of Vivekananda Kendra social media. That QR code also we have pasted outside. You can subscribe our daily thought as well as the news magazine. And these all are happening because of the help and support from the different CSR organizations and different like-minded people who wanted to contribute, because they feel that whatever amount or whatever contribution, donation they will be giving, it reaches to the really needy people, and every pie will be accountable. That also we know that in the educational field or rural development in education, Vivekananda Kendra's reach is there. Even in Tamil Nadu and all, there is a natural resource development project. Natural resources like Green Rameshwaram and low-cost housing and biogas projects. These are also going on in the different districts of Tamil Nadu. Rural development activities are going on. So this all happens because of the public, the partnership, and then the corporate partners are there. Because of their support only, Vivekananda Kendra is able to deliver whatever good, whatever the social renaissance which we could do it. So ultimately it is Jivane Yavada Danam Syat Pradhanam Tadodikam. Whatever we can, we received a lot from the society. Whatever we can give back, more than that, whatever we can give back to the humanity, society, that is what our aim, that should be our aim. So this is a great opportunity for all of us to be part of for this national yajna, for making our Bharat Jagat Guru. And for that, we all require all of your support, and that is what Mani Eknathji envisioned. And then this is a nutshell of what Bharat Mata, what Bharat wanted, what Swami Vivekananda wanted, is to make our nation great, vibrant. With this, I request our guest dignitaries or our guests to come out to the stage. I request our Alaman Muralidharji to accompany them. First of all, I request our Manya Niveda Didi, who is the All India Vice President, who will be presiding over the function, and our Ashish Chauhanji, who is the Chief Guest, and our Balasubramanianji. Balu sir, please come out to the stage. We are very honored. We are fortunate to get our guest, our chief guest, Sri Ashish Kumar Chauhanji. We all know that he is the Managing Director, CEO of the National Stock Exchange. All the way he came from Mumbai. Though he had or is having a busy schedule, even after this, immediately he has to rush to other program. And whatever he committed, that commitment, yes, that is what a Karyakarta expect, or a nation need. Once if he committed, that is to be fulfilled. So we are so fortunate, honored to welcome our heartfelt welcome to our chief guest, Ashish Kumar Chauhanji. Let us honor him with a memento. And Vivekananda Kendra's publication on Northeast, books are there. A memento of rock memorial. Dr. R. Balasubramaniam ji, Baluji, Dr. Baluji or Ramaswamy Balasubramaniam ji. He is the founder of Vivekananda Youth Movement and member of the Human Resource Capacity Building Commission, and a very great non-personality in Karnataka and throughout India. From young age, he started the Vivekananda Youth Movement, and we are so fortunate to get him as our guest of honor, and a professor, as a teacher, as a social worker, and in the government department also, he is a part of it, supporting. Of course, our Niveda Didi, he is our family member. Didi is our element. Muralidhar ji is our family member. He is our Sanchalak for the Karnataka Prant. Please be seated. And there are many guests with us. Our Vijay Lakshmi Deshmani ji is there. She is also a Padma Shri awardee. And our Swamiji is there, Anili Anandji from Ramakrishna Mission. And there are many dignitaries, many great personalities, and company MDs and CEOs, many are there. I have come here for this program. We are so fortunate. Welcome all of you for this program, all the well-wishers and Karyakartas of Vivekananda Kendra. Let us start the program. Once again, I request all of you to be part of Vivekananda Kendra, and welcome everybody. Jai Hind, Namaste.
Dhanyavad, sir. It was heartening to see and realize that how we keep talking about the tiny drops that form the ocean, and it is such tiny drops that has led to such a big movement and which has brought us all together today. It is all the like-minded people, the support of the like-minded people that has brought us this far and will take us forward too. In this backdrop, I'd like to thank our sponsors for the day, Engineers India Limited, who have supported the event. They have played and they continue to play a key and lead role in developing safety standards through oil industry safety standards, OIST, in plot plan development and safe design and engineering practices of a critical oil refinery and petrochemical and fertilizer complex. With that note of gratitude and recognition, let us move forward to the next part of our program. For this, I now request Srimati Khushbu Didi, Prachar Prasar team member and digital media coordinator for Vivekananda Kendra, Kanyakumari, to please come on the dais and introduce our esteemed chief guest.
Namaste everyone. Give as the rose gives perfume because it is its own nature, utterly unconscious of giving. These words of Swami Vivekananda remind me of our honorable chief guest, Shri Ashish Kumar Chauhan ji, whose presence and contributions flow with the same effortless grace. Not for recognition, but because generosity and brilliance are part of who they are. Shri Ashish Kumar Chauhan ji is Managing Director and CEO of the National Stock Exchange of India. He was part of the founding team at NSC. A technocrat from IIT Bombay and IIM Calcutta, he is credited with setting up first screen-based trading in India, mobile trading, mutual fund distribution through exchanges, market for SME shares, satellite telecom, the Nifty index, derivative tradings, and many other modern development in the Indian stock markets. He is considered as the father of modern financial derivatives in India. Prior to joining NSE back in 2022, he was the MD and CEO of the Bombay Stock Exchange for 10 years. He is member of the University Grant Commissions, the Chancellor of the University of Allahabad, and is on the board of IIM Calcutta and other institutions of repute. He has also worked in Reliance Group as the group CIO and as the CEO of Mumbai Indians, the IPL cricket team, in its formative years. He contributes extensively to public policy as a part of several forums and is a visiting faculty member of Nottingham University, UK, and Toronto Metropolitan University, Canada. He has been awarded many awards in India and abroad, including Lifetime Achievement Award by Outlook Business in 2025, CEO of the Year by Asia Asset Management in 2025, Most Influential CEO by CEO Monthly in 2024, Lifetime Achievement Award from Global Custodian at Singapore in 2023, and many more. A book titled Sthit Pragya, The Process of Maintaining an Equilibrium, addresses his life's journey. It is truly my honor to invite Shri Ashish Kumar Chauhanji on podium. So please.
Kumari Nivedita Bhede Didi, Dr. R. Balasubramaniam, Shri Muralidharan ji, Sushri Vijaya Lakshmi ji, brothers and sisters of Vivekananda Rock Memorial and Vivekananda Kendras, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great honor to stand before you at Northeast Calling organized by the Vivekananda Kendra, an institution that lives the timeless ideals of Swami Vivekananda and the vision of Eknath Randeji. Today we celebrate the principle Manav Seva hi Madhav Seva, service to humanity is service to God. Today we also saw a beautiful dance by the young girls depicting all the 7 states from Northeast, and in the voice of Bhupen Hazarika. We grew up listening to many of his songs, even we didn't know what it meant, but he was so melodious, and he brought the ideas of what Northeast would be in our mind when we were young. Of course, we also grew up in times just post China war, and so I recall some of the songs, Bomb Dilla, Bomb Dilla, Bomb Dilla, Bomb Bomb, and many other things. Some of the young people may not have heard of those songs. And so Northeast was always a fascination, and it is a fascination for me, but probably many Indians. And Northeast is not something very far, because the way we have depicted it, the way the modern society got developed, and when we became nation state and independent, we ended up creating a framework, an artificial framework which has separated us, and we think it is very far. The fact is, from Mahabharata time, the Northeast has been part of the Indian culture, Hindu culture, Sanatan culture, whatever culture we say. It has been a very confident culture there, and it is a very confident or inclusive culture here. And so in Mahabharata, Arjun, who is literally the hero, of course, for us, even Krishna is the main hero, but there is a hero, Arjun, and he goes to Manipur and marries a girl called Chitrangada. And then somewhere else in the same story, he goes to Nagaland and also marries a girl called Ulupi. So we have, since long, we have had a history connecting us. I mean, if you go to Manipur, I have had the privilege to be the director of NID Manipur from 2015 to 2018. And Srimati Najma Heptullah used to be the governor, because I had to visit frequently, and it was a nationally important institution of repute. We used to interact also frequently. and some of our programs she used to come. And one of the programs she mentioned that, Chauhan, I have spent so much time here now that I can recognize all 40 tribes of Manipur wear their dresses. Each tribe has its own way of wearing dresses, how they wear, and just by looking at the colors, I can tell you which tribe the person is from. And that is how India has been, it has been so rich. You go to Arunachal, because now, and I am in Mumbai, but because of my association with Northeast, also my ABVP friends, Sunil Ambekarji and Ashish Chauhan, there is a similar, person with same name as mine, Ashish Chauhan, and so they have been sort of insisting that I have to spend a lot of time in Northeast. So I do spend some time visiting Northeast, including I have visited Vivekananda Kendra in Guwahati. But SEAL is another program where we have been welcoming students from all northeastern states. Those parents send their children to stay with different houses in different parts of India. And the ABVP brings them for more than 60 years now. And then make them stay for 10, 15, 20 days. Make them see the culture, experience the culture. And similarly, the students from here may also go there. We also sponsor at NSE the bike rallies to explore the Northeast. And every year for last 4 or 5 years, even women special rallies are taken out where they explore for 7 to 10 days on bikes because there may not be great roads, but beautiful places to see. So many biker, even women groups are now exploring Northeast, creating trails and things like that, so that many of us later on will be able to go there as tourists. And so we are doing whatever we can at NSC. Of course, today in Northeast, we have around 32 to 33 lakh investors investing into stock markets, out of which around 9 lakh are women. More than 29%. And Northeast population of all the 7 sisters is around 3.5–4% of India's total population. And the number of investors are also similar in terms of percentages. So I used to always think, because I have been in the stock market for now almost 34 years as an administrator. And today while coming here, I was told by Khushbuji that why people are going to come and listen to you is because they want a tip from you. And I told that there is a misconception that people who administer stock markets are people who can give tips. But fact is, I don't even invest in stocks. So whoever has come to listen, you might be disappointed in that part. But so be it. For me, Northeast is an absolutely important part of India, and a nation that is not secure internally and externally is not going to be prosperous. And a promise, an implicit promise of any nation, and especially Bharat, has to be that all our citizens have to be prosperous. A prosperous nation also will be a safe nation. A secure nation, not only in terms of security from external countries, external forces, but also from within. Security is required at many levels in many dimensions. And some of that, of course, most important is the security for the defense. But without that, we can't actually have a society. But once we have it, what are the other security? And how does that security come? Security can come from being confident about our culture. You could see those young girls, many of them were not from Northeast. But still, they were looking as if they were part of the culture. And that culture from Karnataka is able to actually accommodate, assimilate what came from Northeast. That is what I call confident culture, secure culture. There will be attempts to destabilize it. Those are what I call storms in the teacup. Tens of thousands of years, this society has survived. This society has talked to each other. This society has worked with each other. With all our trials, our tribulations over the millenniums, and even now, we have still stayed together. With all our differences in looks, in height, in languages, we still appreciate each other. There is a thread which is there somewhere back of our mind. When Bhupen Hazarika sings, he looks like he's singing in my own language. And that is what we need to understand, that whatever people try to take you out in the name of language, in the name of caste, in creed, in religion, for me it is very important to understand that these are storms in the teacup. This country not only will survive, but it will thrive. And all these small little storms will pass. Don't be insecure. And that is what, for me, it's very important. But what field I work in is creating financial security. Financial security requires people to have jobs, because you may have a very rich nation with very rich people, but largely poor people. That nation will not be secure. We need to have a framework which allows people to live with dignity. Each and every citizen, each and every child, to have opportunities. And that's where those societies cannot be top-driven. Those societies will have to be bottoms up. As Nassim Taleb, I don't know how many of you have read Nassim Nicholas Taleb. He's one of the greater thinkers of our times. And he has written a book called Anti-Fragile. There is an inherent fragility, inherent in disequilibrium in every system, every human, every mind. And how does that become anti-fragile or less fragile, becomes more stable, more equilibrium oriented? This is when something else comes in, it doesn't get frightened. It doesn't start running here and there. And that anti-fragility will come only out of a system, a society that is built up from ground, not from top. That 5 thinkers think and all of us behave. That is not our culture. That is not our way of living life. We have all tried to do our own way. It may look like a random activity, everyone is trying, but together, the society has done some wonderful work. In last 78, 79 years, since independence, have been amongst the golden periods of coming together as one nation. It is easy to create one state, but it's not easy to create one nation. When India became independent, Winston Churchill also had said, we'll see whether India remains India in one in next 20 years. And now we celebrated 79th Independence Day, right? So effectively, and it will continue because this is one culture, one way of doing things, one life, and within its own myriad of colors. India has the maximum number of colors we wear, we depict. Many times I go to Gulf or Europe or America, and most people have never visited India. And when they call me up saying, I'm coming to India, I said, beware of the diversity we will bring to you. You think you are multicultural America, multiracial. We have in that small little place, 17% of world population, with myriad of languages. I mean, last time when India counted, we had 1,530 languages. After that, we stopped counting. Okay, what is the point? And so, and cuisines across the country, you literally go every 12 miles and the speech changes. The way of speaking changes. The cuisine also changed slightly differently. And Dr. Balu can tell you even the microcultures continue to change. So many tribes, so many colors of people, right? Not only colors of clothes. And that is where this culture will continue. It will continue to add value to itself, but it will become Vishwaguru, as Swami Vivekananda envisaged, provided we are prosperous. If you are poor, as a society, nobody is going to listen to you, including yourself, your children. Because everyone wants to have physical good things. And we have to learn to appreciate, we have to learn to provide for that in our scheme of things. We have always appreciated ascetics, people who give up. But that is only examples. Those are people who are great. But everyone cannot be great. They want good life, and we have to provide a reasonable life, if not good life, right? And that is where, what are the components that will make India prosperous going forward, or any society? And those components, when they go away, the richest societies will fail. You have seen recently some of the richest societies over last 300-400 years, which have amassed, or which had amassed, including subjugating us, wealth for themselves, are slowly going down. For me, there are few points which, if we consider today, India is in a great position to come up in next 20, 30, 50, 100 years. One of them is trust. Trust amongst ourselves. We all consider, with all our differences, all our arguments. I mean, if you watch the TV channels, you might be thinking that India must be having riots in every corner. And probably every home we have riots sometimes 5 minutes a day. But other 23 hours and 55 minutes we are peaceful, right? And so it is the trust of the people, with all our differences, all our arguments. We trust all of us as one nation, right? That is so beautiful. It is not true in America. Because that is not the purpose. It is not true in Europe, because Europe is itself divided into so many countries. There is no one concept. It's a artificial situation that has been created. But India is not artificial. India is there in every Indian's mind. And not today, 5,000 years back. Bharatvarsha was there. And that trust is now percolating into other activities. It took us some time to regroup ourselves, because we had not managed our society for last 1,000 years. But it has helped today, after 78, 79 years of watching ourselves and regrouping ourselves in states, in municipalities, in panchayats, in center, all the ministries. We have now grouped ourselves very well. And today, I mean, if you ask somebody that I am starting a business, or I require 10,000 rupees or 1 lakh rupees, who will give you money? The banker will give you, the lender will give you. But if you ask your family, it's very difficult to get that, because they know most probably it will not come back. But the same people are putting money into unknown people, which are called entrepreneurs. In last year alone, NSE raised 17 lakh crore rupees. 17 lakh crore rupees was raised using NSE last year for corporates from other people. 1.7 lakh crore rupees in equities. What is equity? When you invest in a share, you are actually buying a small little part of a business. That if that business does well, the profits, that small little part will come to you. A person today sitting in Jorhat, in Dibrugarh, in the remotest corner of India, I have in NSE now shareholders in every pin code in India except 28. India has 19,300 plus pin codes, out of which only 28 pin codes don't have NSE investor. I have people in Arunachal Pradesh, I have people in Ladakh, I have people in Andaman Nicobar. So every pin code except 28, out of which 25 must be airports where nobody can stay full time. So we can't do KYC. Know your client. Right? Because that person, if he gives the address of airport, then how do you find him in that crowd? So you have to have at least a house address and PAN number and all. And that's how today I have 11.8 crore unique PAN numbers registered with me. They invest, small little people, 1,000 rupees. That person sitting in Jorhat or Dibrugarh is investing in a factory in Salem, in Tamil Nadu. She's never going to visit that factory, but she has that complete faith in that entrepreneur in Salem. She's trusting, right? We have created that wealth of trust. So for me, the nation which trusts itself, now it has started trusting itself. Today, NSE represents the wealth of trust in 2,800 companies by way of equities of $5.1 trillion. 1/3 of India's wealth is now wealth of trust. So that was my first part, that the country which trusts itself, the nation which trusts itself, its entrepreneurs. So many times I say in 78 years of our independence, what did we achieve? Whatever else we achieved, but what we achieved most is the trust of our small people into our entrepreneurs. Whatever any political party says that entrepreneurs are bad, slowly people have come to know that the only people who are good, who are giving jobs and also sharing of profits are entrepreneurs. And what is the power the exchange has, stock exchange, NSE has? The power is that we can get the information from the company and put it on our website. That is the only power we have. If the company doesn't give, we have to keep on asking. After some time, we have to stop trading in that company. But still, those entrepreneurs have also not belied the trust. They have kept up the trust. Dhirubhai Ambani started a small plant. In 1977, he listed his company. Today, it is the largest company in India. Person who came from Eden, it used to be part of India in those days. It was managed by India, the Gulf countries in the British time. So he had gone as a petrol pump identity, came back, started this firm. Nandan Nilekarni and Narayan Murthy from Bangalore. They started a firm, not from traditional business class, right? They became billionaires, but they made many people millionaires because they invested in their shares. So what I'm trying to tell you is, if India will come up in next 50, 100, 200 years and remains prosperous, it will be on the back of the stock market, NSE. The second part is demographics. The countries which are going to produce more are the countries which have young people. Countries which have older people, they cannot produce more. You can see China's last 40 years growth. Till 2015, they were adding newer and newer, younger and younger, more people into the job market. 2016 onwards, the people coming into job market started reducing. Today, China is losing 2 to 5 million people in their population every year, but it's going to accelerate. By 2100, it is estimated, by year 2100, it is estimated that China will be half of India's size in population. The country which has 4 people to take care of by one grandchild or 8 people to take care of by one grandchild cannot produce more. That country is going to ask for a lot of health care, not production. And so the demographics, if you start from Japan, it's an old country. China has become suddenly old because of one-child policy. Then India is the only young, large, forward-looking nation. And then you have both sides, one Pakistan, one Bangladesh, who are young countries but who want to go back to lifestyle of 1,500 years back. And that is where India, in next 30, 40, 50 years, is going to remain young. And that's where it's going to produce more, it's going to have more demand. Because at my age, my phone is like 7, 8-year-old. My trouser is 20-year-old. I don't require, wear the same shirt and pant for last 30 years. I don't require any other color, white and blue. Whereas young people require a lot of things, right? So they require demand. There is demographics, then young demographics gets more demand, more production, right? So that's where India is going to score. The third part is technology. The technology is the only change that brings that prosperity, because it makes older things done in a newer way, faster way, better way. So what used to produce now can be produced by robotics and other things, or drones or other things, AI. The technology is the only change that happens in the world. And who can learn that newer technology? It's young people. You have bought a new phone, it's very difficult for you to figure out what it can do. But you give it to your 2-year-old grandson, he will figure out in 2 seconds, start playing games. Young people learn newer technologies, that's why they produce more wealth. The societies which create more wealth, and earlier, you required a lot of capital to create businesses. None of us had. 1,000 years we have been subjugated. We did not have capital. But today, the modern technology doesn't require a lot of capital to start newer businesses, to create more businesses. Nandan Nilekani, Narayan Murthy had no money. Dhirubhai also had no money. But that's still 30, 40 years back. Today, thousands and thousands of young boys and girls are starting their businesses. And many of them will become billionaires using technology. And that is what, because it requires little capital, earlier you require more capital to create more capital or more money. That's why it was called capitalism. That came out of UK experiences of Karl Marx and Engels. That lot of only few people had money and they were making other people work for them and create more money. Today, less capital is required. Now we have become also slightly prosperous, not very prosperous. So we can also invest in those young people's dreams. And again, where will you invest through? Through a stock exchange, right? So that's why every day I have 3, 4, 5 new listings coming up from the small markets, SME market, where young people who have little businesses, they want to come up and grow up, not only India, but across the world. And we are not a culture which is trying to subjugate anyone else. We are trying to come up ourselves along with the world. And that is where, again, India's future for next 30, 40, 50 years. I have a hypothesis that in next 40, 50 years, the world will create more wealth using technology than what has been created in last 10,000 years. And the young technology-oriented societies are going to create most of that wealth. India, with 17% of world population, 20% of youth population, and probably 30% of world's technology-oriented, hard-working population. You go to America, people want to go to beaches on Thursday night itself. They don't wait for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. France wants to work 4 days a week. Here, we work 24/7, 365 days. With COVID, without COVID, with flood, without flood, we will swim, but we will go and work, right? So this is the hard-working nation, this is a trusting nation, and this is the nation on the rise. So as Narendra Modi ji says, arise and take the nation forward. Thank you very much.
धन्यवाद आशीष कुमार चौहान जी. So, I will come to summarize whatever he spoke, but before that, sir, if Khushbu Didi wanted to make a brief presentation about Ashish Kumar Chauhan ji and still go on for 5 to 6 minutes without even taking a breath, we can imagine the number of achievements that he's had throughout his life. And definitely it proves to us that he's a karma yogi and therefore he belongs to, where we are. We are all karyakartas, we are all karma yogis. So it is really a privilege to have you amongst us today. And one huge takeaway from Sir's talk, whether you are investing in stocks or not, he gave us a huge tip. He didn't give stock tip, but he said, jahan pe ho, wahan pe baithe raho, invest karo apne country mein, we will all grow rich. Right? So in a nutshell, I think this was a very, very positive and optimistic takeaway that he's given to all of us. So we belong, we are in the right place, we belong to the right place. So moving forward in this event, we will now have a song by the Karyakartas and students of RT Nagar. And again, this is a beautiful song by Bhupen Hazarika. And it carries a very, very positive outlook towards humanity. Over to you all. Manu Hai Manohar Babe. That was a Assamese song meaning humanity for humanity. a very powerful anthem of unity which has traveled through generations. Thank you for the wonderful rendition. Now I'd like to take a pause here, and we see that Shri Ashish Kumar Chauhanji has to move on due to his further commitments. So thank you so much for your presence today. Amidst your busy schedule, you made time to be a part of this event. So we are deeply honored for that. Thank you very much. Dhanyavad. Moving forward, I now request Shri Vishal Dattaji, ex-VKVN from Arunachal Pradesh, to introduce us to the guest of honor. Vishal Dattaji.
Good afternoon to everybody. It gives me distinct honor and privilege to introduce our guest of honor, Dr. Ramaswamy Balasubramaniam, widely known as R. Balu. Dr. Balasubramaniam is a highly respected physician, visionary social entrepreneur, and most importantly, an accomplished author. Because of his lifetime works, he has advanced the causes of rural and tribal development across Bharat, and as well as he has contributed profoundly to every sector possible as the founder of Swami Vivekananda Youth Movement. He has contributed 3 decades of his life in implementing and designing impactful programs, even reaching out to the most underserved communities across Bharat, tribal communities, Northeast India, and across the pass and passages of the country. With respect to his impressive academic background, his degrees include Mysore University's BITS Pilani, Harvard University. Basically, he combines intellectual rigor with compassionate approach to social change. Besides that, his expertise is not just sought after by the grassroots level administration, but also by the policymakers, because he has been a profound advisor to multiple government bodies, with notably contributing to the social stock exchange, that is for fostering sustainable social innovation in Bharat. Besides that, Dr. Balu's transformative impact has been recognized across the world, and most importantly through various national awards as well. He has been awarded a State Youth Award by the government of Karnataka, Paul Harris Fellow Award from Rotary International, and the Jayendra Saraswati Lifetime Achievement Award internationally. He has contributions as well as a faculty member as a Cornell University has also been awarded. So the award list is endless. Besides that, as an author, Dr. Balasubramaniam has inspired many through his writings, which reflect his commitment to ethical leadership and his belief in transformative power of empowerment and service. Today, we are truly privileged to have with us a leader whose dedication, vision, and humility exemplifies the highest order of social service, and really an inspiration for everybody, every youth that we have in our podium today. Thank you so much, sir, and please join me for warmly welcoming Dr. Ramaswamy Balasubramaniam, our guest of honor. Thank you so much for gracing this moment, sir.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ವೇದಿಕೆಯನ್ನು ಅಲಂಕರಿಸಿರುವಂಥ ನಿವೇದಿತಾ ದೀದಿಯವರೇ, ಮುರಳೀಧರ್ ಅವರೇ, ಆಗಲೇ ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರಾದಂಥ ಆಶೀಶ್ ಚವಾಣ್ ಹೊರಟರು. ಇವತ್ತು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲೇ ಮಾತಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಭಾಳ ತೀರ್ಮಾನಿತವಾಗಿ ಬಂದೆ, ಆದರೆ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಕನ್ನಡ ಬರುತ್ತೋ ಅನ್ನೋ ಸಂಶಯ, ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ನಗರದಲ್ಲಿ ಬರಲೇಬೇಕಂತ ಒಂದು ಸಂಶಯ. ಸೊ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಯಿಂದ ಶುರು ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೆದಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸಭಿಕರಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಕನ್ನಡ ಅರ್ಥವಾಗತ್ತೆ? ಮಾತಾಡೋದು ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಡಿ, ಸುಮಾರು ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಅರ್ಥವಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಅದರಿಂದ ನಾನು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಧೈರ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಮಾತಾಡಬಲ್ಲೆ. ಬರದೇ ಇರೋರು ಅಕ್ಕಪಕ್ಕ ಕೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಬಿಡಿ. I do understand I'll be putting the organizers to some discomfort by talking in Kannada. But at the same time, I want to ask another very uncomfortable question. How many of you in this audience have had the privilege and the honor of visiting any northeast state of our country? Quite a few people. So you are the converts. But what we need are more people to understand that there is a Northeast India in India. And there are indigenous communities living across India, not just this part of India. ನನಗೆ ಬಹಳ ವರ್ಷಗಳಿಂದ ಆ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರಕ್ಕೆ ಭೇಟಿ ಕೊಡುವಂಥ ಒಂದು ಆಸೆ ಬಂದಿದ್ದು ಕೂಡ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ವಿವೇಕಾನಂದರು 124 ವರ್ಷಗಳ ಹಿಂದೆ ಶಿಲ್ಲಾಂಗಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಷಣವನ್ನು ಓದ್ತಿದ್ದಾಗ ನಾನು ಇದೆಲ್ಲಿರ್ಬೋದು ಈ ಶಿಲ್ಲಾಂಗನ ಪ್ರದೇಶ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಸಂದೇಹ, ಚಿಕ್ಕ ವಯಸ್ಸಿನಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತೇನೆ, 40-50 ವರ್ಷದ ಹಿಂದೆ. ಬಟ್ ದೆನ್ ಐ ನೆವರ್ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ಅನ್ ಆಪರ್ಚುನಿಟಿ ಟು ರಿಯಲಿ ಗೋ ದೇರ್, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ I got lost in the forest of Karnataka itself for a very long time that I never really left that place. But then 4 years ago, I had this privilege of being part of Mission Karmayogi, the mandate of the Honorable Prime Minister to transform this nation's bureaucracy. And when a lot of states, and the Prime Minister also asked us to look at states, and whichever states had to work with us, I was the first to jump in and say I would like to work with the northeastern states. And that gave me the privilege, the freedom, and the opportunity to start visiting, understanding these communities, understanding these people. And that's when I discovered that ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಗೆ ಹಿತ್ತಿಲ ಗಿಡ ಮದ್ದಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಳಷ್ಟು ಸೊಗಸಾಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವೋ, ನಾರ್ತ್ ಈಸ್ಟು ಹಾಗೆ ಹಿತ್ತಿಲ ಗಿಡ, ಅದು ನಮಗದು ಮದ್ದಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ವಿ. ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಸಾಮರ್ಥ್ಯ ಶಕ್ತಿಗಳು ಹೊಂದಿರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಆ ಭಾಗದ ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದ 5 ಹೊರದೇಶಗಳನ್ನು, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ ಆರ್ ಡಿಫಿಕಲ್ಟಿ ವಿ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್. ಯು ನೋ, ವೆನ್ ವಿ ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ಜಾಗ್ರಫಿ, ವಿ ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ದೀಸ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಸ್ ಆಸ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ನರಿಂಗ್ or bordering 5 other countries, but they're bordering 5 difficult countries. That's something which you have to keep in mind. We people in the south are living a privilege of pampered privilege, not just privilege. We have absolutely no idea of what it is to live in other places. ಕಳೆದ 4 ವರ್ಷ ಡೆಲ್ಲಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ರೀತಿಯ ಶಿಕ್ಷೆ ಕೂಡ ಅದು ನನಗೆ. ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ಸೊಗಸಾಗಿ ಕಾಡಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಬದುಕಿದವನಿಗೆ 30 ವರ್ಷ, that's a different kind of a concrete jungle, a manipulative, very difficult to describe humanity kind of a existence that you have to undergo there. And then you go into northeast, the pristineness, the purity of the communities that you interact with. And so when Geeta ji asked me if I could come, I was hoping that she'll keep this somewhere in the northeast. And with that belief I said yes first. And then she very politely, the next message, I should have waited for the next message, said we are having one event in Bangalore, one in Mysore. Are idu namige hittil gida idu. But ಒಪ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೆ, ಸಂತೋಷವಾಗಿ ಬರಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಅವಕಾಶ ಆಯಿತು. But then the Kendra has got a lot of fond memories for me, because my introduction to Vivekananda was just a photograph in the college of where I studied here, close by MES College. For those of you, the ones with the grey hairs like mine, and those who have gone to MES College, if you can remember, we had MPL Shastri at that time as the principal, and then others. Staircase ittu, ಮೆಟ್ಲು ಇತ್ತು 2 ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ. 2 ಕಡೆ ಮೆಟ್ಲು ಜೋಡಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬರೋ ಕಡೆ ಒಂದು ವಿವೇಕಾನಂದರ ಫೋಟೋ ಇತ್ತು. ನಮ್ಮ ಹುಡುಗರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲನೇಷನ್ ಇತ್ತು ವಿವೇಕಾನಂದರಲ್ಲ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾಕೆ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರು ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರಿಗಳ ಫೋಟೋಗ್ರಾಫಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ. ಐ ಆಮ್ ಸಾರಿ, ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಸ್ಪೀಕ್ ಇನ್ ಕನ್ನಡ. ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಸೊಗಸು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. 2 ಮೆಟ್ಲು ಸಂಗಮದ ಕ್ಷೇತ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ವಿವೇಕಾನಂದರ ಪಿಕ್ಚರು. ಪಾಪ ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರಿಗಳ ಮನಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಹುಡುಗರಿಗೆ ವಿವೇಕಾನಂದ ಪ್ರೋತ್ಸಾಹ ಸಿಕ್ಕಲಿ ಅಂತ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರು ಏನೋ. ನಮಗೆ ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲನೇಷನ್ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ದೇನು ಅಂದರೆ, ಹುಡುಗರೆಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ಮೆಟ್ಲಲ್ಲಿ ಬರಬೇಕು, ಹುಡುಗಿರೆಲ್ಲ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಮೆಟ್ಲಲ್ಲಿ ಬರಬೇಕು, ಸೇರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಒಬ್ಬರು ಹುಡುಗಿರು ನೋಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗದೆ ಆ ಸೇತುವೆ ಮೇಲೆ. ಹುಡುಗಿರ ಮೇಲೆ ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟೆ ಅವ್ರು ಫೋಟೋ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ರು ಏನೋ, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ವಿವೇಕಾನಂದ ನಮ್ಮನ್ನೇ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋಂಗೆ ಆಗ್ತಿತ್ತು. ಸೊ ನಮ್ಮ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲನೇಷನ್ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದು, ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರಿಗಳು ಭಾಳ ಬುದ್ಧಿವಂತಿಕೆಯಿಂದ ಹುಡುಗಿರು ನೋಡಬಾರ್ದು, ಚುಡಾಯಿಸಬಾರ್ದು ಅಂತ ವಿವೇಕಾನಂದ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ರಲ್ಲಿ. ಹಾಗೆ ಪರಿಚಯ ಆದಂಥ ವಿವೇಕಾನಂದರು ಒಂದು ಫೋಟೋ ಆಗೇ ಉಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರು ನನ್ನ ಮನಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ. ನನ್ನ ಅದೃಷ್ಟವೋ ಅಥವಾ ಆ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ದುರ್ಭಾಗ್ಯ ಅಂತ ಭಾವಿಸಿದ್ದು, ಕಾಲೇಜಿಗೆ ಅಡ್ಮಿಷನ್ ಎಲ್ಲೂ ಸಿಕ್ಕದೆ BMS ಕಾಲೇಜಿಗೆ ಸೇರಿಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೆ. ಇಡೀ 1 ದಿನ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಅಟೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ಅದಾದ ಮೇಲೆ ಅವ್ರು ಮಾಡೋದಂಥ ರ್ಯಾಗಿಂಗಿಗೆ ನನಗೆ ವಾಪಸ್ ಕಾಲೇಜಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಧೈರ್ಯ ಬರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಆದರೆ ಮಧ್ಯಮ ವರ್ಗದಿಂದ ಬಂದಂಥ ಕುಟುಂಬದಿಂದ ಬಂದಂಥವನಿಗೆ ಸಿನಿಮಾಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ದುಡ್ಡಿಲ್ಲ, ಕಾಲೇಜಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಧೈರ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಉಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದು ಒಂದೇ ಅಂದರೆ ನಮ್ಮಂಥವರಿಗೆ ರಾಮಕೃಷ್ಣ ಮಿಷನ್ನು. ದಾರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅದು ಸಿಕ್ತು. ಸ್ವಾಮಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಸತ್ಯ ಹೇಳಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಗೇಟ್ ತೆಗೆದಿತ್ತು, ಸೈಕಲ್ ನಿಲ್ಲಿಸಿದ್ರೆ ಕಳ್ತನ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೆದರಿಕೆ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಒಳಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಪಾರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡು ಕೂತಿದ್ದೆ. 1-2 ದಿನ 3 ದಿನ ಹಾಗೆ ಕಳೆಯುವಂಥ ಒಂದು ಧೈರ್ಯ ಬಂತು. ಬಟ್ ದೆನ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಎ ಫ್ಯೂ ಡೇಸ್ ದ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಚಾರಿ ದೇ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಸಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಮೀ. They thought I have come here to steal some fruits. For those of you who do not know, behind the ashram, between the mandira and the ashram, there are a lot of good fruit trees. Next time you go try to take some. So they thought I have come for that. So to look very serious and to look very occupied with Swamiji's thoughts, I went and started sitting in the library. I think possibly the most transformative 2 months I ever spent in my life was in that library. Without comprehending Vivekananda, I read everything about what he wrote. It was in 8 volumes those days. But 2 books, his call to the nation and to the youth of India, I still believe, I have still not unpacked them, but I am trying to all my life. I think going to the Northeast is an opportunity for everybody sitting here to unpack those wonderful words of Swamiji. When he says, I call every young man a traitor who, having been educated at people's expense, pays not the least heed to them. Now, it's not about giving at all. That's something I learned the hard way. Running an organization just with Bhiksha, I keep used to telling my colleagues, I could specialize in begging. I could write a PhD on how to beg. That's because humanity understands begging, but humanity never understands in giving is what we get. And if you truly give to Northeast, this nation will get a lot more than what it thinks it can get. And I think it's an obligation. No, it's more a privilege for us to participate in what Swamiji so beautifully said. We are just instruments. If you have this belief that you're giving something, very soon experience will teach you that you don't really give. How can you give away something that you don't really have also? So in that sense, if you start sharing and being the channel through which things can get done, just imagine the power that this country can get. I really enjoyed Ashish when he spoke about trust, when he spoke about demography. But in a nation whose wisdom is timeless, in a nation whose civilizational strength is something which we have never really think. What little remnants of life is left, in my view, is in the community wisdom that indigenous people have. And I've had the privilege of living close to 30 years with them. And I can think of 2 specific. Dr. Deshmaneji, when she came in, she said, whenever I see you, I remember the Ragi Mudde story. ಸೊ ಭಾಳ ಅವರು ಸಂತೋಷದಿಂದ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ ನಿನ್ನ ಕತೆ ರಾಗಿ ಮುದ್ದೆ ಕಥೆಯನ್ನು ಹಂಚ್ಕೊತೀನಿ ಅಂದರು. ನಾನು ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡೆ, ಪಾಪ ಇವರು ಸಿಗೋ ಡಾಕ್ಟ್ರುಗಳ ರಾಗಿ ಮುದ್ದೆ ಕತೆ ಹಂಚ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಯಾರು ಡಾಕ್ಟ್ರ್ ಕೆಲಸಕ್ಕೆ ಬರಲ್ಲ, ಬರೀ ರಾಗಿ ಮುದ್ದೆ ತಿನ್ಕೊಂಡಿರಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ. ಆ ಕತೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಹೇಳಬೇಕಂತ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂದರೆ, it doesn't reflect just one tribe or one tribal story. It reflects the real DNA of tribals in this country. And it is so stupid that we think we have to give them reservation. In my opinion, they deserve a lot more than reservation. They deserve a respect and the dignity that they genuinely already belongs to them, but we have to restore it back to them. This young boy, Manju, was 7-8 years old when he first came to me. We were running a school in a cow shed. My guru, Swami Sureshanji, thought that if he gifts me a cow, he'll get me to drink milk every day. Poor man never realized that medical college doesn't teach you how to milk a cow. So in a few days, that cow developed galactoseals, and we couldn't milk all the milk, and so we had to give it back to Swamiji. But to keep the cow safe from the leopards and tigers in the forest we were in, we had built a small cow shed. Now, the typical NGO mentality, how can you waste a cow shed? So ನಮಗೆ ಕಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ವಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಗೆ, ಆ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಬಾರ್ದು ಅಂತ ಶಾಲೆ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ತುಂಬ ಜನ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಭಾಳ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಡಾಕ್ಟ್ರ್ ಬಾಲು ಸುಬ್ರಹ್ಮಣ್ಯಂ ಅವರು ಶಾಲೆಯೆಲ್ಲ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ. ಸುಳ್ಳು. ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಉಳಿಸ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಶಾಲೆ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಹಾಗೆ ಶುರುವಾದಂಥ ಶಾಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ 28 ಮಕ್ಕಳಿದ್ದು, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಬಾಲಕ ಮಂಜು. ಒಂದು ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಅವನಿಗೆ ಪಾಠ ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಅವನು ನನಗೆ ಪಾಠ ಮಾಡ್ದ ಅವತ್ತು. ಆ ಚಿಕ್ಕ 8 ವಯಸ್ಸು ಬಾಲಕ ಒಂದು ದಿವಸ ಅವನ ತಂಗಿ ಸುನಂದನ್ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಬಂದಿದ್ದ. ಅದೊಂದು 4-5 ವಯಸ್ಸು ಪುಟ್ಟದು. ನನಗೆ ಪ್ರತಿ ವಾರದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ದಿನ ಮೈಸೂರಿಗೆ ಬರ್ತಿದ್ದೆ. ಮೈಸೂರು ಯಾರ್ಯಾರು ಪರಿಚಯ ಇದೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ದೇವರಾಜ ರಸ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಆಗ್ತಾ ಶುರುವಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಈಗೆಲ್ಲ ತುಂಬ ಮಳಿಗೆಗಳು ಬಂದುಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ. ಆಗೆಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಅಲ್ಲಲ್ಲಿರೋದು ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾವಿಷನ್ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ಸ್ ಇತ್ತು. ತುಂಬ ಪ್ರಾವಿಷನ್ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ಸ್ ಇತ್ತಲ್ಲ ಆಗ. ಈಗೆಲ್ಲ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗಿಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ, ಬಟ್ಟೆ ಅಂಗಡಿಗಳೇ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗಿಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಚೇಂಜಿಂಗ್ ಡೆಮೋಗ್ರಫಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ, ಚೇಂಜಿಂಗ್ ಎಕಾನಮಿ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ಆ್ಯಸ್ ಅ ನೇಷನ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಸೋಷಿಯೋ ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ ಮೊಬಿಲಿಟಿ, we go away from eating balayannu to burger. That's also the danger of growth we have to keep in mind. So this, I used to go there carrying one bag, and to every shop, and I used to ask for grains to be put into it. ಅಕ್ಕಿ ಹಾಕೋರು, ಕಾಳು ಹಾಕೋರು, ಬೇಳೆ ಹಾಕೋರು, ಕೆಲವರು ರಾಗಿ ಹಾಕೋರು, ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ತೊಗೊಂಬಂದು ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಬೇಯಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ. ಸೊ ನಮ್ಮದು ಒಂದೊಂದು ದಿನ ಒಂದೊಂದು ಹೆಸರು. ಇವತ್ತು ಕಿಚಡಿ ಏನು ಕರೆದ್ರೆ ನಾಳೆ ಪಾಯಸ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತಿದ್ವಿ ಅದನ್ನ. ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಯಾರ ಬೆಲ್ಲ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ರೆ ಪಾಯಸ ಆಗಿಬಿಡೋದು, ಖಾರದ ಪುಡಿ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಕಿಚಡಿ ಆಗಿಬಿಡೋದು. We would cook, and those 28 children would cook it also. And they would share amongst themselves. So that day was Ragi Mudde day. And these children would make the mudde, and they would, ನಾವು ಮುದ್ದೆ ಕಟ್ಟೋದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ, ಅದು ಮುದ್ದೆ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. 28 ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಮತ್ತು ನನಗೆ ಸೇರಿಸಿ 29 ಮುದ್ದೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಅವತ್ತು ಮಂಜುದು ಟರ್ನು ಮುದ್ದೆ ಕಟ್ಟಲಿಕ್ಕೆ. ತಂಗಿನ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ನನಗೆ ಅಯ್ಯೋ ಹಾಳಾದ 28 ಹೊಟ್ಟೆ ಹಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಕೂತಿರೋ ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಜೊತೆಗೆ 29ನೇ ಹಸಿವಿಂದ ಬಂದಿರೋ ಮಗು ಬಂದಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ನನಗೆ ಚಿಂತೆ, ನಾನು ಮುದ್ದೆ ಬಿಟ್ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. ಬಟ್ ಮಂಜು ಆ ಥರ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ. 8 ವಯಸ್ಸು ಮಗು ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು. ಸ್ವಾರ್ಥದ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಕೋನನ ನೋಡಿದಂಥ ನಾನು ನನ್ನ ಮುದ್ದೆ ತ್ಯಾಗಿಸಬೇಕೋ ಏನೋ ಅಂತ ಚಿಂತೆಯಲ್ಲಿದ್ದ ನನಗೆ ಮಂಜು ಮುದ್ದೆ ಕಟ್ಟುವಾಗ ನೋಡಿದೆ 29 ಮುದ್ದೆ ಕಟ್ಟಿದ, 30 ಮುದ್ದೆ ಕಟ್ಟಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅವನು. ಯಾಕಪ್ಪ ಅವನ ತಂಗಿಗೆ ಏನು ಮುದ್ದೆನೇ ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ವಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಬಡಿಸ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಅವನ ತಟ್ಟೆ ಹತ್ರ ತಂಗಿನ ಕೂಡಿಸಿದ್ದ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅವನ ಮುದ್ದೆಯನ್ನು ಬಡಿಸಿ ಅರ್ಧ ಮಾಡಿ 2 ಮುದ್ದೆ ಇಟ್ಟ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಊಟ ಆಯಿತು. ಊಟ ಆದಮೇಲೆ ಮಂಜುನ ಕರೆದೆ. ಅಲ್ಲ ಮಂಜು, ತಲೆ ಇದೆಯಾ ನಿನಗೆ? ಕಟ್ಟುವಾಗಲೇ 30 ಮುದ್ದೆ ಕಟ್ಟೋದಲ್ವಾ, ಎಲ್ಲರಿಂದ ಚೂರು ಚೂರು ಬಂದಿರೋದು, ನಿನ್ನ ಮುದ್ದೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಅರ್ಧ ಕೊಡಬೇಕಾಯಿತು ನಿನ್ನ ತಂಗಿಗೆ ಅಂತ. ಈ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ನಗರದ ಬೆಳೆದ್ರೆ ಇದೇ ಆಗೋದು. ನನ್ನಂಥವನಿಗೆ ಆ ಥರ ಯೋಚನೆ ಬಂತು. ಆದರೆ ಕಾಡಿನ ಬೆಳವಣಿಗೆಯಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಂಥ ಆ ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಚ್ಛ ಮನಸ್ಸಿನ ಮಗುವಿನ ಉತ್ತರ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ, ಕೇಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಅವನು ಹೇಳ್ದ, ಸಾರ್, ತಂಗಿ ನಂದು, ನನ್ನ ಊಟ ಅವಳಿಗೆ ಹಂಚ್ಕೋಬೇಕು, ನಿಮ್ಮದೆಲ್ಲ ಚೂರು ಚೂರು ಕಿತ್ಕೊಂಬಂದು ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ ಆಗತ್ತಾ ಸಾರ್ ಅಂತ. ಇವತ್ತು ನಾನು ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದ ನಗರದಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಂತಿದ್ದೇನೆ. 5 ವರ್ಷ ಕಾಲ ಲೋಕಾಯುಕ್ತದಲ್ಲಿ ನಿರ್ದೇಶಕನ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದ ಅನುಭವದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೇನೆ, ದುಃಖ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕಕ್ಕೆ ಬರಲಿಕ್ಕೆ. ಯಾರ್ದೂ ಏನೂ ಬಿಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾವು ಹೊಸ ಮಾದರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕಿತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕೆ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ವಿ ಎಲ್ಲರದ್ದು. ಇವತ್ತೊಂದು ಈ ಖಾತಾ ಅಂತೀವಿ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಅಂತೀವಿ, ಎಲ್ಲ ತೊಗೊತಲೇ ಇದ್ವಿ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಹೇಳೋದು ಗ್ಯಾರಂಟಿ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ. ವಾಟ್ ಯು ಬೀನ್ ಗ್ಯಾರಂಟೀಡ್ ಈಸ್ ಮಿಸ್ಗವರ್ನೆನ್ಸ್, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಐ ಡೋಂಟ್ ನೋ ವೆನ್ ದ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ವೇಕ್ ಅಪ್ ಟು ದಟ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್. But this is a tragedy of growth and progress and development when values don't drive it. And values is what we can learn from the northeastern parts of India. And this country deserves to learn it, because if you want to understand sustainability, if you want to understand what human values are, you should go back to our indigenous communities. This is just one example I gave you, my friends, of an 8-year-old Manju teaching me what is caring, what is sharing, and what is not aspiring for somebody else's things. Because my responsibility is what I should fulfill and not take it from anybody else, not take it from society to fulfill. Now, what greater lesson can any of us learn and teach also? But then, we are trained in a different economic model. Let us not take our economic models to Northeast. Then we'll have nothing left to learn from anybody. What we need to take is their economic models to the rest of India. And there is so much. I'm not a romanticist. I talk with a lot of evidence. What this country taught us, we were the single largest growing economy consistently, continuously growing economy for the first 1600 years post-Christ. And why did we grow? Because we invested on human and social capital. We never really invested on building economic capital. There were consequences of investing on human and social capital. But unfortunately, we demolished the very mechanisms of building human and social capital during colonization. Today, if you have to decolonize, it's not about not wearing a pant or shirt. It's not about stopping to eat with a fork or a knife. It's about throwing away this non-identity that we have accumulated and reacquiring the Bharatiya thought, the Bharatiya culture, which was what Manju and people like Manju can teach us. And I want to conclude by saying another little fun story I learned from an Yajamana called Kempaya, an extraordinary giant of a man who was seen as a leader in his own sense, a chieftain, a traditional Yajamana. He was my friend, guru, guide, mentor when I first went in. I was a 22, 21-year-old young man who thought I can change this world with a wave of a magic wand called MBBS. And this Kempaya taught me what true life's lessons are. He would come and meet me every evening. Beetle leaf dripping from his mouth. ಅವನು ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನನ್ನ ಮುಖಕ್ಕೆಲ್ಲ ಕರೆ ಬರೋದು. ಬಟ್ ಅದ್ಭುತವಾದ ಜ್ಞಾನವೂ ಬರೋದು. ಸೊ ಜ್ಞಾನದ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಎಲೆ ಅಡಿಕೆ ಕರೆಗಳು ಸ್ವೀಕರಿಸ್ತಿದ್ದೆ ನಾನು. ಆ ಪ್ರದೇಶ 4 ಜಲಾಶಯಗಳ ನಿರ್ಮಾಣ ಆಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಪ್ರದೇಶ. People have been submerged 4 times in their lives. We don't know what suffering is, my friends. People living in the forest know what suffering is. In the name of development, 4 dams were built there. And nothing was done for the people who lost their lands. A national park was declared without even having the status of a national park. Only after I went sued the government of Karnataka that they woke up to the fact that it was not even called a national park. 1972, somebody notifies it and forgets to gazette notify it. 1985, they wake up at gazette notify the intent to form a national park. Without even declaring a national park, my friends, this country had called it the Rajiv Gandhi National Park. And we people have no idea what we don't know. We are also self-centered and selfish in our own approaches and attitude. We just know our lives. This nation, you do not know how much of exploitation the state has done on its citizens. Today I represent the government of India at a very high level. And I'm happy that somebody like me is there, not for anything else, but because today the country talks of Jan Bhagidari. The Prime Minister says citizens have to be partners. And when I wrote my first book, I the Citizen, I thought it's a unheard voice that I'm talking about. Nobody is going to even read it. Luckily, our Prime Minister has read it. And today we're talking of being partners in progress in a nation that we are to build together. And this Kempaya was one such tribal who used to come and say, you can't really help me. And Vivekananda said the same thing. You can't really help anybody. He said, it's blasphemy to say I can help somebody. You can only work with me. So Kempaya taught me, you can't work for anybody. You can only work with somebody. And so if any of you sitting in this room believes that you're going to work for the Northeast, throw away that illusion. You can only work with the Northeast. And Kempaya went on to tell me this story, and I have to narrate this. I would go to his house every other day, and he would share his ragi mudde with me too. And one day we decided, he was Yajamana, the Yajamaniki was like this. ಆ ಬೆಟ್ಟದಿಂದ ಆ ಹಳ್ಳದ ತನಕ ನಾನು ಯಜಮಾನ ಅಂತ ಅವ್ರ ಲೆಕ್ಕ. ಹಾಗೆ ಲೆಕ್ಕ ಹಾಕೋರು ಅವರು. ಅದು ಮಧ್ಯೆ ಇರೋ ಜಮೀನೆಲ್ಲ ಅವನವನು ಅಲಾಟ್ ಮಾಡೋನು. ನಿಂದು 2 ಎಕರೆ, ನಿಂದು 3 ಎಕರೆ ಅಂತ. ಸರ್ಕಾರಿ ಪಟ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ ಕಾಯ್ತಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಈ ಖಾತೆಗಳು ಬೇಕಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಕೆಂಪಯ್ಯನ ಖಾತಾನೇ ಬೇಕಿತ್ತು, ಸಾಕಾಗಿತ್ತು. ವ್ಯವಸಾಯ ಮಾಡುವಂಥ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಳೆ ಬಿದ್ದ ಮೇಲೆ ಅವನು ಬೀಜ ಕೊಡ್ತಿದ್ದ. ನಿಮಗೆ ನಾನು ಭತ್ತದ ಬೀಜ ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ ನೀವು ಭತ್ತ ಬೆಳಿಬೇಕು, ನಾನು ರಾಗಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ ನೀವು ರಾಗಿ ಬೆಳಿಬೇಕು, ನಾನು ಹುರುಳಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ ಹುರುಳಿ ಬೆಳಿಬೇಕು, ನಾನು ಹಲಸಂದೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟರೆ ಹಲಸಂದೆ ಬೆಳಿಬೇಕು. ಏನು ಕೊಡದೆ ಹೋದರೆ ವ್ಯವಸಾಯ ಮಾಡೋಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾನು ಈ ಬೀಜ ಹಂಚಿಕೆ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ. ನನಗೆ ಟಿಪಿಕಲ್ urban economic thinking. How can you let land be fallow? A nation which is suffering from want of food, you can't allow waste land to be fallow. You should cultivate. Anta. Kempaya in his typical tribal smile he gave and said, ನಿಮಗೆ ಅರ್ಥವಾಗಲ್ಲ ಬಿಡಿ, ಸಿಟಿಯಿಂದ ಬಂದವ್ರಿಗೆ ಅರ್ಥವಾಗಲ್ಲ. ನಾನು ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಆದೆ. ಅವ್ನು ಊಟಕ್ಕೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಕೆಂಪಯ್ಯ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದೆ. ಅವ್ನು ವ್ಯವಸಾಯ ಮಾಡದೆ ಹೋದರೆ ಅವ್ನು ಊಟಕ್ಕೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ, ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಅದೂ ಅರ್ಥವಾಗಲ್ಲ ಬಿಡಿ ಅಂದ. ನೀವು ಒಂದು 6 ತಿಂಗಳು ಬಿಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬನ್ನಿ, ಕಟಾವು ಆದಮೇಲೆ ಬನ್ನಿ ಅಂದ. ನಾನು ಹೋಗಿದ್ದೆ ಆರಂಭದ ದಿನಗಳದು. 6 ತಿಂಗಳ ನಂತರ ಹೋದೆ. ಚಾವಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಂಪಯ್ಯ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಯಾರ್ಯಾರು ಏನೇನು ಕಟಾವು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರು, ರಾಗಿ, ಹುರುಳಿಕಾಳು, ಅಲಸಂದೆ, ಭತ್ತ ಎಲ್ಲ ತಂದಿಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರು, ಗುಡ್ಡೆ ಹಾಕಿದರು. ಒಂದೊಂದು ಕುಟುಂಬದವ್ರು ಬರೋರು, ಮುಖ್ಯಸ್ಥರು, ಗಂಡ ಹೆಂಡತಿ ಇಬ್ಬರು ಬರೋರು. ಟ್ರೈಬಲ್ ಸೊಸೈಟಿ ಇಸ್ ಅ matriarchal, matrilineal in Karnataka and most of the places of India. So the women also has to come. ಸೊ ಇಬ್ಬರು ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಬರೋರು. ಬಂದಾಗ ಕೆಂಪಯ್ಯ ಕೇಳು, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮನೇಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಅನ್ನೋನು. 4 ಜನ. ಇವನು ಗೊತ್ತಿತ್ತು, ಅದು ಕೇಳೋನು. 4 ಜನ ಆದರೆ ನಿನಗೆ ಇವತ್ತು ಈ 4 ಮೂಟೆ ರಾಗಿ ತಗೋ, 50 kg ಹುರುಳಿ ತಗೋ, 10 kg ಅಲಸಂದೆ ತಗೋ ಅಂತ ಹಂಚೋನು. ಇನ್ಯಾರೋ ಸೊ ಫ್ಯಾಲೋ ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಅವನು ಬರೋನು. ಅವನಿಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಮನೇಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದಾಗ ಅಷ್ಟು ಅಲಾಟ್ ಮಾಡೋನು. ನನಗೆ ಆಶ್ಚರ್ಯ ಆಯಿತು. ನಾನು ಕೆಂಪಯ್ಯನ ಕೇಳಿದೆ, ಅಲ್ಲ ಕೆಂಪಯ್ಯ, ನೀವು ಅವ್ನು ಕೆಲಸನೇ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅವ್ನು ಹೇಳ್ದ, ನೀವು ಅವ್ನು ಮಾಡಿದ ಕೆಲಸ ನೋಡಿಲ್ಲ, ಕೆಲಸನೇ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿಬಿಡಿ. ನೋಡಿ, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ರಿಯಲ್ ಲೀಡರ್ಶಿಪ್. ವಿ ಆಲ್ ಸ್ಪೀಕ್ ವಿತ್ ಪ್ರಿಸಂಪ್ಷನ್ಸ್. ಹಿ ಸೆಡ್, ಯು ಡೋಂಟ್ ನೋ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಡನ್. ಹಿ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ವರ್ಕ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ಎವ್ರಿಬಡಿ ಎಲ್ಸಸ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್. And by leaving his land fallow, what you see is economic wastage. What I see is sustaining diversity, ecological diversity. And you will never understand this. He said, ನಿಮಗೆ ದೇವರು ನಮ್ಮನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಸೃಷ್ಟಿಸಿದ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಿ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಪುಸ್ತಕದಲ್ಲಿ, ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನು ಜೀವಿಸ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂದ. ಹೇಗೆ? ಚಪ್ಪಾಳೆ ತಟ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ ಮುಂಚೆ ಇನ್ನು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಇದೆ ಕತೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ ರೀ. ಹೇಗೆ ಅಂದರೆ, ನೀವು ಎಷ್ಟು ಎಕರೆ ಭತ್ತ ಬೆಳೆದೆ, ರಾಗಿ ಬೆಳೆದೆ ಅಂತ ಅಳತೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಮೂಟೆ ಬಂತು ಅಂತ ನೋಡ್ತೀರಿ. ನಾನು ಎಷ್ಟು ಕ್ರಿಮಿಗಳು ಬದುಕಿದೆ. ಸೊ ನೇಚರ್ ಡೈವರ್ಸಿಟಿ is all about even the small insects, those unseen termites, that grass, that weed. We see weed and poison. He sees ecological diversity. And he said they have to survive too. God has created them with the equal right to belong to this earth as you and me. And therefore that land is fallow. And when leaving land fallow, you are allowing soil to recover. We never think of it. We only think of our recovery every time. Soil needs to recover. The earth needs to recover, my friends. ಭೂಮಿ ತಾಯಿಗೇನು ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಅವಳು ತಾಯಿ ಥರ ನೋಡ್ಕೊತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವ ಅಂತ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿ. ಕೆಂಪಯ್ಯ ಯೋಚಿಸಿ ಜೀವಿಸ್ತಿದ್ದ, ಆ ತಾಯತ್ವವನ್ನು ಗೌರವಿಸ್ತಿದ್ದ. ಅದು ಆ ಥರದ ಜ್ಞಾನ ತುಂಬಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ನಾರ್ತ್ ಈಸ್ಟು. 7 ಸಿಸ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೆಯೋದು ಅಪೂರ್ಣ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಈಗ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿಂ ಜೋಡಿಸ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ. ಸೊ 8ನೇ ಅಕ್ಕ ಕೂಡ ಬಂದುಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾಳೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ, 8ನೇ ಮಗಳು ಕೂಡ ಬಂದುಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾಳೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸಹೋದರಿ ಬಂದುಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾಳೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಅವರಿಂದ ಕಲೀಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಈ ಥರ ಹಲವಾರು ನೂರಾರು ಸಾವಿರಾರು ಅನುಭವಗಳು, ಕಥೆಗಳಿವೆ. ನಮಗೆ ಕಲಿಯುವಂಥ ನಮ್ರತೆ, ಆ ಜನಗಳ ಮೇಲೆ ವಿಶ್ವಾಸ, ಗೌರವ, ಹಾಗೂ ಈ ಭಾಗಿದಾರಿ ಅಂತ ಏನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೆ ಈಗ, ಆ ಭಾಗಿದಾರಿಯ ಮನೋಭಾವನೆ ಬಂದರೆ that praise will change. But remember what Swamiji said, every nation has a destiny, every nation has a calling. And for our nation, I think it's a Northeast destiny that can build the destiny of our country itself. Not just our country, my friends, maybe of humanity itself. And therefore, when Northeast calls, don't see it as an opportunity to write a check. See it as a privilege to be part of this wonderful change story that is going to build not just a great nation, but a great future for the world itself. Because this world needs a great future. Mad voices and noises are shaking away. You know, we want to create wars and then put them off and get a Nobel Prize. What a tragedy this world is going through. Right? All we need to do is kill the Kurukshetra inside. And then you will discover peace on the outside. Thank you, my dear friends.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು ಸರ್. ಕನ್ನಡ ಮಾತು ತುಂಬ ಹಿತವಾಗಿತ್ತು, ಕಥೆಗಳಂತೂ ಅದ್ಭುತ, ಸ್ವಾರಸ್ಯವಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಒಂದೊಂದು ಅಂದರೆ ಸಣ್ಣ ಪುಟ್ಟ ಜೀವನದ ಕಥೆಗಳು ಆಳವಾಗಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಒಂದು ಗಾಢವಾದ ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ತಂದು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನೋಡಿ. ಒಂದೊಂದರಲ್ಲೂ ಒಂದು 7 year old ಬಾಯ್, ಅದರಲ್ಲೂ ಒಂದು ಮೆಸೇಜು. ಕೆಂಪಯ್ಯ ಯಾರು ಅನ್ಕೋತೀವಿ ಅನ್ಎಜುಕೇಟೆಡು, ಹಾಗೆ ಹೀಗೆ, ಅವ್ರ ಹತ್ರ ನಾವು ಕಲಿಯೋಕ್ಕೆ ಎಷ್ಟಿರುತ್ತೆ ಇಂಥದ್ದು. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಡೈವರ್ಸಿಟಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಅದ್ಭುತವಾಗಿ ತಂದರು ಆ ಕಥೆ ಮೂಲಕ. ಒಂದೊಂದು ತುಂಬ ಸ್ವಾರಸ್ಯವಾಗಿತ್ತು. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಸೋ ಮಚ್. ದಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಅ ವಂಡರ್ಫುಲ್ ಟಾಕ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಗ್ರೇಟ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಅವೇಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಯುವರ್ ಟಾಕ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಹೌ ಸೀಮ್ಲೆಸ್ಲಿ ಯು ಆರ್ ಸ್ವಿಚಿಂಗ್ ಅಕ್ರಾಸ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜಸ್. ವೆರಿ ನೈಸ್. Swami Vivekananda said that music has the power to unite us all together. So as we move forward, we are going to have another beautiful rendition of a Deshbhakti Geet. Before that, may I also take this moment to remind you that our today's event is sponsored by Engineers India Limited, which is involved in every stage of site selection, engineering, and project execution and management of India's crude oil strategic storage facilities. Further, they have successfully completed large-scale underground receipt and storage facility for LPG in port city of Bengaluru, Karnataka, a true reflection of India's spirit of self-reliance and resilience. And speaking of resilience, one of the greatest forces that has always inspired and united our nation is music. Music resonates with the soul and moves mountains. During the freedom struggle, it didn't matter which part of the country one came from. Songs became a unifying factor across languages and geographies. Be it Vande Mataram by Bankim Chandra Chatterjee, Sare Jahan Se Acha by Muhammad Iqbal, Jana Gana Mana by Rabindranath Tagore, or Kadam Kadam Badhaye Ja by the Indian National Congress, songs represented the spirit of the movement. We now call upon the Karyakartas and Samskara Varga students from Hebal to render a beautiful Deshbhakti Geet.
राष्ट्र की जय चेतना का गान वंदे मातरम, राष्ट्र भक्ति प्रेरणा का गान वंदे मातरम, राष्ट्र की जय चेतना का गान वंदे मातरम, राष्ट्र भक्ति प्रेरणा का गान वंदे मातरम, वंदे मातरम, वंदे मातरम, वंदे मातरम, वंदे मातरम। बंसी के बहते स्वरों का गान वंदे मातरम, झल्लरी झंकार जन के नाद वंदे मातरम, शंख के संघोष का संदेश वंदे मातरम, शंख के संघोष का संदेश वंदे मातरम, राष्ट्र भक्ति प्रेरणा का गान वंदे मातरम, वंदे मातरम, वंदे मातरम, वंदे मातरम, वंदे मातरम। सृष्टि बीज मंत्र का है मर्म वंदे मातरम, राम के वनवास का है काव्य वंदे मातरम, दिव्य गीता ज्ञान का संगीत वंदे मातरम, दिव्य गीता ज्ञान का संगीत वंदे मातरम, राष्ट्र भक्ति प्रेरणा का गान वंदे मातरम, वंदे मातरम, वंदे मातरम, वंदे मातरम, वंदे मातरम। हल्दी घाटी के कणों में व्याप्त वंदे मातरम, दिव्य जौहर ज्वाला का है तेज वंदे मातरम, वीरों के बलिदान की हुंकार वंदे मातरम, वीरों के बलिदान की हुंकार वंदे मातरम, राष्ट्र भक्ति प्रेरणा का गान वंदे मातरम, वंदे मातरम, वंदे मातरम, वंदे मातरम, वंदे मातरम। जन जन के हर कंठ का ही गान वंदे मातरम, हरिदल कर कर कांपे सुनकर नाद वंदे मातरम, वीर पुत्रों की अमर ललकार वंदे मातरम, वीर पुत्रों की अमर ललकार वंदे मातरम, राष्ट्र भक्ति प्रेरणा का गान वंदे मातरम, राष्ट्र की जय चेतना का गान वंदे मातरम, राष्ट्र भक्ति प्रेरणा वन्दे मातरं वन्दे मातरं वन्दे मातरं वन्दे मातरं वन्दे मातरं वन्दे मातरं बोलो भारत माता की जय। धन्यवाद।
The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others, as said by Swami Vivekananda. To introduce us to an inspiring personality who truly lives this ideal, Manya Nivedita Didi, we invite Dr. Kirupa Danielji, Vice President of Prastuta, IASC's Students Forum, and a dedicated Karyakarta of Vivekananda Kendra. Over to you, sir.
Namaste all. It is a great honor to introduce Kumari Nivedita Bide Didi. There is a famous line by Swami Vivekananda ji. They alone live who live for others. So Didi is a great embodiment of this saying. She has dedicated her entire life, like last 4 decades, and still dedicating her life for the seva of humankind. So she has completed her initial degrees, BSc, MA, B.Ed from Wardha, Maharashtra, and joined in 1977 in Vivekananda Kendra as a lifetime full life worker. So currently she is holding a responsibility of All India Vice President of Vivekananda Kendra, Kanyakumari. There is 4 pages of achievements she has done for the last 40 years. So I will just limit my thing to the major awards and achievements she has done. She has received the 4th highest civilian award of Padma Shri from the Government of India in 2017 for social service. She has been honored with the Doctorate of Philosophy, honorary doctorate degree from more than 3 to 4 universities across India. And she has got Lifetime Achievement Award from IIT Kharagpur in 2024, which is recent one. So she has been awarded in multiple states. She has also worked for the general, she is as a member of National Council for Teacher Education as a national body, and formulating teacher education policies and other things as a policy maker from 1999 to 2005. She has also been member of multiple associations in a nationwide, and as a grassroots level, she has started in multiple villages. In 1978, she has started in 4 districts of southern districts of Tamil Nadu as a grassroots level worker, and has come to the level of All India Vice President. So she has written multiple books like Eknath Ji, the Mission Personified, Swami Vivekananda in America. So she has made sure that her power is being used, intellectual power is being used, so that she can inspire multiple people, not just Karyagatas of Vivekananda Kendra, but all across the world. So it's a great honor to welcome her for the distinguished guest today. So let us all join together to welcome her for addressing the gathering. Thank you very much. Namaste. Jai Hind.
Today it's guest of honor, Dr. Balasubramaniam ji. I always enjoy his lectures. Today I missed few points, but I am still happy that you spoke in Kannada. That was very apt. And our Pranta Sanchalak, Shri Aliman Muralidharan ji, Swami ji, and all the respected invited guests, Kendra Karyakarta, sisters and brothers, my namaskars to you all. Northeast India, I will say, in a way represents what India stands for. What is the essence of India? We can feel, we can experience, we can visibly see in Northeast India. And therefore, the Northeast Calling in program, it is my duty to tell little bit about Northeast. You know, Northeast was earlier actually the eastern part of India. But because of the partition of India, when East Pakistan, which is today's Bangladesh, was carved out separately, the remaining eastern part of India became actually northeastern India. And at that time, during the time of partition, in Northeast, the per person income, we can say, or per capita income, we can say in economic language, it was better than the rest of India. But after the partition, Northeast India lost the market. Dhaka was just 5-6 hours, that was lost. And also the port was lost. And it got connected to the rest of India only by a very narrow strip of 30 miles. And many anti-national powers decided to focus on that narrow strip to control it, so that in a way, northeastern part gets cut off from rest of India. Not only that, unfortunately, the establishment in India also, in a way, ignored the Northeast India. So, not just the physical distance. Earlier, what we could go straight, now we have to go all around Bangladesh, and then only we can enter the Northeastern India. So, it's not only geographical distance, but some psychological distance also increased. But fortunately, for last 10-15 years, we can say that that distance is reduced. Means Government of India, our Prime Minister, has made it a point that every 2 months, each central minister should visit Northeast India and listen to the problems of Northeastern India. Because this Northeast Calling program, Vivekananda Kendra has been organizing in Maharashtra, Mumbai basically, since few years. And in that we invite some central minister also, like Suresh Prabhu, then Nirmala Sitharaman, Kiran Rijiju, all such ministers had come. First it started with Sri Ajit Dovalji. And when these ministers came and they used to talk about Northeast India, we were really surprised, because a person, unless makes effort, goes there, stays there, he cannot understand it. And they were speaking very well. So once I even asked Nirmala Sitharamanji that how do you know Northeast so well? That is when she told me that each one of us, we have to go once in 2 months to Northeast India. And also now the communications also have improved a lot. I will just give you one example. To go from Dibrugarh to one of our Vivekananda Kendra Vidyalayas near Pasighat in Oyan, we had to earlier start morning at 6 o'clock. You start, even if we have our own vehicle, we go, then we search where the ghat of Brahmaputra is. Because Brahmaputra keeps changing its course and the ghat keeps changing. So we have to search. Then we go there. Then there in the boat, the vehicle also, if our vehicle, if we have gone by bus, then of course we just climb the boat. Otherwise, vehicle also is loaded in the boat. And then for 8 hours we are in the stream of Brahmaputra going. And then when we reach again the ghat in Arunachal Pradesh, then again we get down. Actually, technically it is in Assam, but just border of Arunachal Pradesh. And then again from there we have to take another bus, and in between again few streams come. And after that only we reach Oyan. That is, it used to take from morning 6 o'clock to evening 7, 8, whatever. That depends on if the river in between has not troubled you, or Brahmaputra, while the boat going, has not got stuck up. Sometimes it has happened that some of our teachers had to spend the night within, means in between, sand dunes get formed. And if the boat gets stuck up, they have to stay there. They may be carrying their children after holidays, they are coming with the luggage and all that. So this was the communication. Now, we can take, because that Bogeybill bridge has come, we can just take if our own vehicle, we just take it, we reach in 3 hours to that school, whole day, whatever work we want to do, and we can return back. That is the improvement in communications. But that is not the only thing. Means this is only one example. Like that everywhere. In Arunachal Pradesh earlier, suppose there are two places. I had to go from one place to other place and the distance is only 10 kilometers. But there is no road in between. And we have to come down to Assam, then again turn and again go back. So it may become 100 or 150 kilometers. So that's how was the communication. Now inside also roads are there. Same way whether it is for Manipur, for Tripura, many such bridges and all are coming. So this psychological distance of course is coming down, has come down. Communications have improved. But as I told you that Northeast stands are very intensely, it reflects the essence of India. So what is it? The first, for example, the diversity. Such tremendous diversity. As Ashishji was telling, by looking at the dress we can make out which community it is. So every 20 miles, the language changes, the name of God changes, the name of festival changes, and whole Northeast is visibly diverse. Whole India is full of diversity, but I am telling the visible diversity we can see in Northeast. For example, I will just tell you few names like Anedonni, Singbonga, Bathau, Jitane, Kinenane, Mathai, Rangfra. Now these are all names of gods. How we worship God there, by what names, these are the names. But we don't know. Such diversity. Diversity of everything, not just the names of gods or festivals or dresses or languages. Even, the rice that we eat. Each community has its own seeds and its own rice, its own fragrance. Once, initially, first time when I had gone to one area, I didn't even know that it is Khamti communities area. So when I went, that girl there, she had studied in our school. So she said, Didi, aaj hum aapko Khamti chawal khilayega. So I was wondering, what is this Khamti chawal? Now I go from Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu, we eat lemon rice, tair sadam, then tomato rice, and then tamarind rice and whatnot. So I thought some such preparation, Khamti rice. But when the rice came in the plate, it was plain rice. Then I asked her, अरे तुमने तो बताया खामती राइस खिलाएगा और ये तो प्लेन चावल दिख रहा है. वो बोली दीदी वही तो, ये खामती राइस है, ये हमारे कम्युनिटी का चावल है. Only then I realized. And when you eat, it has a different taste. So each community, and as such India, do you know how many kinds of rice we have? 2,500, more than 2,500 types of rice. In Assam, there is one Komal Chawal. Komal, yes. So if you tie it in a cloth and just dip it in hot water and take it out, it is, rice is cooked. And then you can eat. Or you can just soak it in water and after some time you can eat. You don't have to cook. So such is also there. Or in Manipur, I had eaten one brown, almost black color rice. And the payasam of that. So very tasty. So such variety, whether in eatables, whether in ways of agriculture, the way we do farming, different types of farming. And such diversity is there. Now diversity is a strength only when we are aware of what connects us. But if we forget that, then our strength can be used by others to make it as our weakness. So diversity gets interpreted as separateness. And the communities, as sometimes there might have been some fight, it gets so-called anthropological academic studies project it as this community are always hostile to each other. So the hostility is provoked, promoted. This is what happens if what connects us we forget or is not focused upon. So Vivekananda Kendra, the one work which Vivekananda Kendra Institute of Culture has done in whole of Northeast India, it is going to the community and what are all the community practices. So what is it in that which is, of permanent value, and what is it that should change as per the time. So the title of the seminar will be Traditional Customs, Change and Continuity. Now we only say seminar, but it's a misnomer for what we do there. Seminar means here if we want to conduct, we just list out some scholars, we send them letters, they write papers, they come and present the papers. Now that's not what we do in seminar. Because first thing when we went for very interior areas, we told the communities that we shall have seminar on this, traditional customs, change and continuity. What is it that we continue? What is it that we change as along with the time? So in that the first condition is only those who belong to that community will present the paper. No one else has right to tell what you do is wrong if they are not part of that community. And it will be a participatory research. So no books written by anthropologists will be quoted in their papers, because all those anthropologists would not have understood what this community is, why it is doing. Means this is a separate subject. If I tell you, I will just tell you just one point. When we started such seminars, first we did region-wise, then only we went community-wise. So in that there used to be paper on marriage. For example, I am giving one example. And in that marriage paper, whatever the scholars will bring, it will be written whether child marriage is there, and if divorce takes place, then what is done. For illicit relationship, what is the fine, and all such things only. Then I ask, why are you writing paper on marriage this way? If you want to write the paper, you should write that, what advice the parents give to a bride and the groom because they are entering the married life. What gods and goddesses do you pray? What songs are sung before the marriage? What do they mean? All such things should come in marriage paper. Then only I came to know, our one scholar, she said, no Didi, we are giving them, first I asked the scholar, he said whatever Vivekananda Kendra Institute of Culture gave us the points to write marriage paper, we have written. Then I asked our scholars, then they said, Didi, in anthropology, this is what is asked. And do you know, anthropological studies are never done for Europeans or Americans. It is done only for so-called conquered countries. Why? Because we have all rotten things, and those rotten things should be brought out to the fore. That is the purpose. So this is how anthropology is. So we told them, you will not quote anything from the books which are in the library about your community. So you should write about your own community. Now the question is, the one who can write, he does not know, and one who knows, he cannot write. So what is to be done? So we told them, you will go to villages. You will meet the village elders, the pujaris, Gav Buddha. Gav Buddha word is a very respectable word. And you should meet them. And you should take from them what we do, why we do that. And you write down the paper. You can write in references that talk to so and so on such and such date in such and such village, and this is what he is standing, means he is elder or he is a pujari, and give such references and write the papers. Then we call all the village elders, all the community elders, and then those papers are presented. So it takes sometimes 1 year, 2 years to write the papers. But ultimately when it is done, then all the community elders, they discuss over it. Secondly, what we did, we called other community leaders to be present in the seminar. So they will sit and they will only listen. And at that time when they started listening, they said, Arey, we also do the same thing. Means we are not separate, only names are separate. So this is same thing. We also think, this is our attitude, this is our bhava. हम तो यही सोच के ऐसा करता है. हम भूमि की पूजा इसीलिए करते हैं. And this is how slowly a sort of communication among the communities and their coming together started. In Arunachal Pradesh, one example I will tell you. One Dr. Joram Begi, now he is our Pranta Sanchalak in Arunachal Pradesh, he presented a paper on Manyang. Manyang is an arrangement between Nishi and Apatani community. Suppose a Nishi person has to go in Apatani area, then whom he should contact, how he should go. So that is what is the Manyang arrangement. So he presented the paper. Till then, in Arunachal Pradesh, Nishi and Apatani were considered as hostile communities. So suppose in a hostel, a fight comes between a Nishi and Apatani student, it will not be between only those two students. All Nishi students, Nishi teachers, and they will be on one side. And Apatani students and Apatani teachers on another side. Then it will spread to other schools and colleges, then the district. That's how it used to happen. So after this paper, in which this was a paper a Nishi presented, but the Apatani leaders also were present. And then they said that if our elders in those days, when communications facilities were not there, if they could devise a system, why can't we now? And then they organized one 3-day summit of Nishi Apatani summit. All elites, they gathered together, they sat together, and then they made steps, 1, 2, 3, means suppose two persons, means suppose a fight takes place, then at first step what should be done, second step what should be done, third step what should be done. And I am very happy to tell you, since then, no riots between Nishi and Apatani have taken place. So focusing on what connects us, that will make diversity also would be cherished. Then further what happened, slowly this movement started, and many communities in Arunachal Pradesh, they felt that no, of course, our names are different and festival names are different, but actually we are all same people. So we should come together, and that is how they have come together and formed a Donni Polo Trust. And now they have started their own Gurukulas. Gurukulas means they will give the cultural education, and Vivekananda Kendra gives the formal education. So each community now is starting, and they all have come together. So diversity is cherished, is celebrated, is protected in our country, because we could also focus on what connects us. So that is where our work lies. We should always focus on what are the commonalities. Then the second second characteristic of Northeast, which is Indian characteristic, is people are very simple and very trusting people. So this is a great strength, but when there are such forces which want to divide the country or divide the people or convert the people, then again that strength can become a weakness. And that is where they need just a support. You know, when we started work in Arunachal Pradesh, the first thing which Eknathji had told us, which today both of our speakers, the chief guest as well as Balasubramaniamji told, that we are not going there to teach them anything. First thing we should understand. Because thousands of years community has survived, our society has survived, there is some inherent wisdom in the society. With our Western thinking and Western education, we should not go and try to force our ideas on that. So Eknathji had told, you go and first you just be there. And for the first 2-3 batch Karyakartas, he even told them, you just work in government school, because simply sitting there will not be good. So you work in government school as teachers, and then you start mingling, observing, understanding, knowing the people. When you will feel them as one of you, when you can identify with their happiness, with their sorrows, and also you can understand the wisdom, then only we will get right to do work for them. And that is what in Northeast the Karyakartas are told, and they do that. So when we found the people are very simple, what we have to do is only just be with them, and whatever way they are getting carried away, or there are some people who tell them something. There are many such misunderstandings or misconceptions which are spread, misinformation. So that we try to be with them and clarify. There are many such things, but I will go to the next characteristic of Northeast, and that is, the people are not individualistic. It is a community mind. They work only as we. It's never I. So, what prayers we chant in Vedas, like Sangachadvam, Samvadadvam, Sambho Manasi Janatam, or what in celebrated Gayatri Mantra we say, Dhiyo Yonah Prachodayat. Let our intellect be awakened. Our, we never say my. So, there also the thinking is always for whole community. And what we are doing, we educate some youth, we even bring them out, we give, they go for a very high colleges, they take good education. But if those who are very brilliant, of course, they go, they settle down in different cities and they are working. But those who don't fall in that category, they go back. But when they go back, they are neither here nor there. They can't do what the community has been doing because the aspirations, the material aspirations are awakened, and at that time they fall in the hands of the anti-national forces, the terrorist, the separatist movement. So this is what happens. So our developmental model should be, it's not individual. Not individual is taken out from the community and developed, but the whole community should come up. Means community should become the vehicle of development. So whatever we have to start it there. Let the whole community get interested in that, and then slowly it should come. So whether it is ecotourism or whether it is orchids development, so like that various activities we have started. Just to give you one example of community functioning. Once I had gone to one village called Boleng. It is in Adi area, and that day we reached in the evening. Now, we were told in the evening that next day morning in higher secondary school there will be one program, and then afterwards with village elders one meeting, and at 3:30 the women of the village, we will sit with them. So we told, all right. Next day morning as we entered the school, we found these students are coming with big dao. Dao means a big knife in hand. They are all coming out. So for a second we thought what has happened, but they were very peaceful. They came and some trucks were standing. They climbed the trucks and went, and principal came. He apologized. He said, no, see, 2 houses in our village got burnt, and therefore we can't have the program today. So we told, all right, we came back. Then where we were to have village elders meeting, again a message came, because the 2 houses got burnt, we are sorry, we can't have that meeting. Then we told it's okay. Then again after some time the message came that we can't have that Matru Sammelan also, because 2 houses are burnt. So I asked, 2 houses are burnt and programs are getting cancelled, that's all right. But I want to know what is happening. Means, because 2 houses are burnt, why everyone is getting busy? Means, then they said, oh Didi, we thought you know. And then they told that, see, those higher secondary students, they went with big dao in their hand, they went to jungle and they would cut the bamboos. And the village elders will go where the houses are burnt, they will clean the whole area, and as bamboos come, they would start cutting. And for them, the nearby women, they will be cooking food and all. I told, okay, but then afternoon, what is the thing? Then they said, no, all women will sit together and then they will make a list that from my house I can give 2 cots, I can give this clothes, I can give these vessels. And imagine A well-furnished house is given to the family within 24 hours. This is living society. When I am walking, a thorn pricks my foot, I won't say, oh, it's a problem of foot, and hands and eyes are not ready to go and remove it. It doesn't happen that. A living society, similarly a living body, it will not happen. But suppose, unfortunately, a person is affected by some nerve problem or leprosy, even if thorn is pricked, he will not understand. But if a society is living society, immediately whosoever's problem is there, the whole society goes and supports. So this has been our tradition, that we go and help. It's not you write application to the Tahsildar, then collector, and then you keep on asking, my house was burnt, when are you going to give me support? The society comes forward and gives. So there are many such examples how they work as a community. That's why if you see any time their dances, they match their legs so fast. Even they sing a group song, it will be in one voice. Even if 100 children are singing, because they won't stand out. Always they will merge, harmonize their action, their words with others. So this is what we, Samvo Manasi Janatam, what our Vedic mantras are there. We see its actual in action there. So in Arunachal Pradesh and Assam and then other areas, we started this saying, what just now it was referred to also, that development is really sustainable only when it is based on cultural values. So we say development through culture. We don't say development and culture. Because people are very much attached to their culture, they don't want to lose the culture. But somewhere a thinking had entered in the psyche that यदि हमें डेवलप होना है तो हमें अपना संस्कृति तो छोड़ना पड़ेगा. ऐसा हो गया था. But no, it's not like that. If the development has to be sustainable, then it has to be without greed, it has to be with Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah. And if to have those values, the culture only teaches us these values. And therefore, the real development is possible only through culture. So development through culture, and that is what the efforts are there. There are many such characteristics of Northeast, and it's again not just the Northeast. You see any Janajati in our country. Now Vivekananda Kendra has started work among Janajatis in Rajasthan, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, and also in Orissa. In many places the work has started. So when we go there, we find that. Another thing, in Vedas there is one thing. Jiveta Sharadashatam. How we will live? We shall live for 100 years. But it's not 100 years, what to do, my health is not good, means not crying. But Nandama Sharadashatam. We will live it enjoying the 100 years. And again, not just we enjoy, Modama Sharadashatam. We give even joy to others and we live. So this is what we see in Janajatis. Once in Orissa, we had one whole day workshop. The workshop was that how we protect our culture, for that what all ways each community has devised. So let us learn from each other, and sharing and all was there. So all discussion, speeches, and like that it was going on. So Janajati cannot be only with speeches and going on like that. So ultimately the workshop is concluded. We say Sarve Bhavantu, everything is over. And then one community person, he started beating his drum. He had brought it. And when he had brought it, slowly others also they came. And in that auditorium, front some place is there, open space. So they all started dancing. Then only the really workshop was concluded. So the life is to be enjoyed and also give joy to others. This is what has been our culture. Whenever we also lived life happily, but we radiate happiness to others. And so I always tell, and I don't know whether I can communicate when I tell that, but I understood Sanatana Dharma. I understood our culture. I understood what is the greatness and the strength and wisdom of India only when I started working with all our Janajatis. Of course, more I worked in Northeast region earlier. Therefore, when we become part of this great development through culture work, we are protecting the whole of India, not just the Northeast, and we are also, in a way, making way to guide the whole humanity, because this is what only India alone can do. So Northeast calling is just a beginning, but it is for whole of India. Many times I tell in Northeast while talking to Janajatis that maybe one day our people will understand India and her culture better by looking at you, and therefore you don't lose it. So this is what we all have to learn from each other and raise our country. So with this I conclude, because Northeast is a very big topic. Our Janajati itself is a very big topic, and but there is limit for a time. So thank you so much. Namaskar.
Thank you, Nivedita ji. The kind of nitty-gritties, the details, clearly shows the amount of involvement and passion Didi had towards the Northeast work. And definitely, like Didi mentioned, celebrating the diversity and looking at it from a perspective where we consider it a blessing rather than a reason to causing a divide. I think that is the most important thing in the Northeast, and definitely for us in the country also. Moving forward, a couple of quick announcements. In the backdrop of the Northeast Calling event, we are also organizing a Northeast Brahman, a trip to the Northeast, some of the places in the Northeast region. This is so that we can get a first-hand experience of all the work and the impact that we are delivering in certain places in the Northeast. This is being organized between October 11th to October 18th. So I encourage anybody who's interested to please get in touch with any of our Karyakartas to get further details on it. Secondly, all of you must have got the gamosa. This is the hand-woven symbol of honor. Okay, it's a symbol of respect, the symbol of love, and a cultural identity. Each weave reflects the rich heritage and pride of the region's diverse states. So if you visit our sales counters out there, you will get several more unique items. So I encourage you to please take a look at the sales counters. There are also certain donation counters set up over there. So kindly do make your contributions. You can take a look at how you can be a part of this effort in the Northeast, the work in the Northeast. And one very important and noticeable thing, right, is we also have Vivekananda Kendra Vidyalaya at Kallubalu. The students who performed here were also the dance performers, were all from VKV Kallubalu. So basically the school focuses on the holistic development of the child. It's not only, education is not only about becoming literate, it is about understanding, truly understanding and being knowledgeable, right? So the holistic development is fostered at the VKV Kallubalu, and various forums they've represented the Malakamba even at various district levels and even at the Dashera events, if I'm not wrong. So here are some of the pictures of the school and the commendable work that is happening there. They're setting good records, high standards with respect to academics, sports, and all the other co-curricular activities. Last but not the least, we have before that, there's another one. All of you would have received a QR code to give your feedback towards this event. So please feel free to let us know how you found this event, and any feedback points that you have, you're most welcome to voice it out for us. And last but not the least, we have arranged lunch for all the guests who've come here. So please please stay for the lunch. Also savor some, the sweet that we've lined up for you has a little northeastern flavor added to it. So please do stay back and have lunch before you leave. We now request Adarniya Alaman Murlidharji, VK Karnataka Prant Sanchalak, to please deliver the vote of thanks.
Namaskaraha, Namaste, good afternoon to all the distinguished dignitaries on the dais, honored donors and guests, my fellow Karyakartas, and all my friends assembled here. It is my honor and privilege to present my vote of thanks to this august gathering, who have helped in making this event a resounding success. We are fortunate to have a dignitary no less than Shri Ashish Chauhan, Chief Executive Officer of our National Stock Exchange, as the chief guest, who shared his valuable thoughts with us. He has been with us despite his hectic schedule and has traveled to be here as a part of this event. On behalf of all of us in Vivekananda Kendra, I extend my heartfelt thanks for his presence and very invigorating speech. Dr. Balasubramaniam, as Dr. Balu, as he prefers himself to be called, promptly agreed to be a part of today's program when we met him 2 weeks ago. As he has always been a Bhakt of Swamiji and has been inspired by his lofty words of action and wisdom. Sir, your thoughts, the thoughts you have shared today with humor and hard-hitting truths are invaluable for us. When we met you at your office, we could sense the deep sense of reverence, love, admiration, and gratitude in all the people and the students who were present in the campus. On behalf of all of us, I extend our sincere thanks. And our Didi, what needs to be told about her? She who has been guiding and inspiring us towards greater action throughout her life with Vivekananda Kendra. Her inputs on the Northeast are incomparable, and we are ever grateful for her presence and guidance. We shall strive to work effectively and meaningfully, which we rededicate ourselves to the Kendra. All three of you have been inspirational and motivational to work relentlessly for the cause of the Northeastern region. And on behalf of all of us, I thank the teachers and the children who have entertained us with their presentations today relating to the Northeastern region, which we thoroughly enjoyed. I would be failing in my duty if I do not thank the officers and staff of the Indian Institute of Science who have cooperated with us unstintingly. All the volunteers who have worked behind the scenes deserve our deep appreciation. To name each and every donor, official, and volunteer who has contributed immensely and generously for the success of this event is a Herculean task. Nevertheless, on behalf of all the Karyakartas and myself, we request you to accept our gratitude from the bottom of our hearts. Your immense support has been instrumental in making this event a fruitful one. To recall a bit, I was present at the very first Northeast Calling event at Mumbai, which was graced by our National Security Advisor, Shri Ajit Dovalji. This event has since gathered momentum. Now it is from Mumbai to Bengaluru and hopefully to other cities as well. Finally, our Kendra has a commitment to the nation with special emphasis on the northeastern states. These states require our added attention and a wholehearted effort to help them contribute and participate in our nation's progress. To end my speech, a couple of emphatic sayings of Swamiji, which have been echoed even earlier. The more we come out and do good to others, the more our hearts will be purified. and God will be in them. They alone live who live for others. Manav Seva is Madhav Seva. Jai Hind.
As we come to the conclusion of the session, let's all put our hands, join our hands together for the Shanti Mantra. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschet dukha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Dhanyavad to one and all.